Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, I take this opportunity to welcome you to this meeting. I also welcome all the participants. Can we have an opening prayer by the leader here? You can sit, then you have the prayer.
Katshabe Mukama ruhango bushoborozi bwona nitwenda kusima munonga habwe mbabazi na rukundo yawe byo tugirire kureba ngo twena tukiriho twino mu isi y'amagara. Twenda kusima habwe kutuleta kuruga mu districts zitali zimwe mu ihanga ryetu rya Uganda tukabasa kuteranira umwanya ogu. Twenda kusima habwe kutuletera umujanyi weito mukuru His Excellency President wetu wa Uganda Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Twenda kusima habwo buhereza burungi obu wamuhereze. Twenda kusima mukama kumubasisa kandi twenda kushaba kugira ngo mugume muhereza amagara marungi agumize matwebembeire. Twenda kumukusimira mwene mukama tushabira abalinzi bo businje kugira ngo gumo baherezo mutima ogwo kundi hanga ryabo kandi twabateranira hayi mukama nitwenda kushaba kugira ngo tuhereze amagara marungi otutungise tubase kugira ibintu binje byo kubasa kutuwera no kuhera makageitu guma hamwe n'icyo mu rukiko rwetu kwerizoba ohere president wetu omukuru webembera nitwe twena ba members hayi mukama ogumori hamwe n'icyo kandi omugisha gwa ruhango bushoborozi wa byona tate itwe omwana n'umoyo rukwera gube nitwe twena gube nihanga ryeitu gube na president wetu omugisha ogu gutulinde gutaturugaho okuruga hati no kwisebero byona. Amen.
Thank you very much for the prayer. Your Excellency, the President of Uganda, before you we have actors in the tea industry. We made invitations to 374 people from all the tea growing districts in the regions of Kigezi, Ankole, Toro, Bunyoro, Mubende, Greater Mukono, and West Nile. And we invited the people in the categories, broad categories of nursery operators, tea nursery operators, tea outgrowers, and tea processors. These people have their associations. They are organized. They have the Uganda Tea Association, which brings all of them together. And under this association, there are smaller associations, which include the smallholder owned tea factories, like a Gara Tea Factory, plantations like Macleod, Russell, and others, individual investors like Haji Basaja Balaba, who is here, and even others. We have packers, like the Renzori Tea packers. Then we have the Uganda Tea Outgrowers Association, UTOA, which also has smaller associations and organizations. We also have management agents, like the Uganda Tea Development Agency, that offer specialized services to the tea subsector. Then we have the tea nursery operators, and then new tea growing districts like Zombo. Based on that, Your Excellency, allow me to recognize the participants in their categories. But I'll start with the Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, who is amongst us. We also have members of cabinet that are present. In the interest of time, I request that they stand up for recognition. I request that they stand up for recognition. We also have members of parliament, starting with the area member of parliament. Honorable Mawanda of Igara East, then we have the woman member of parliament. Let's have all the members of parliament standing up for recognition. Thank you. We also have former ministers. Professor Kawejere is a minister. Then we have former members of parliament. Please stand up for recognition. I would also like to request that representatives of tea growers we also have the State House Controller and ministers, together with permanent secretaries. Please, permanent secretaries, if you are present, stand up for recognition. Then we have representatives of stand up as a representative of tea growers for recognition. Then we have representatives of tea nursery operators. Please stand up for recognition. Then we have processors. And then finally, Your Excellence, we have government officials, both from the center and from the district local governments. All of you, please stand up for recognition. Government officials. Your Excellency, based on the fact that we want as much dialogue as possible from the entire sector, we have a suggestion that you allow us to open up so that we don't go into the bother of nominating representatives to speak on behalf of others. But before we open up, we want to suggest that we have a few speeches. Number one, from the LC1 chairperson of this area, so that he can allow us to start the meeting. Then number two, to have the Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries. And then thereafter, we shall request the Right Honorable Deputy Speaker to invite you to address the meeting. And then after that, we shall open up the discussion so that you can hear from the people from the tea sector. On that note, Your Excellency, I would like to invite the LC1 chairperson of this area to come over and allow us to commence.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, President Yoweri Museveni, Cabinet, the Deputy Speaker, Cabinet Ministers, MPs, and all protocol observed. Kantu wali mukichogu kwache mundu gundi omwanya ogu itukapshe intukizo mugisha kutayira emundu eri omyezi mukaga ekino musha omuzare kandi kuyizira aha ukatkumurenta na watshomesa nyonko mundu ekira kwasire ukatshomesa ahantasya hamwe n'entunguka ekimo ekintu kweta kumanya nkachikwata nkatungisha muri yamani ekishikabe kintu cyamani obale munonga ekindi yeba jangwenta sima ebro wajongera kama nyo wargaha ukampeze ntambara yaka
we are fresh and clean. Tuli bakozi ubantu we.
Ubwire noyenda kwangura umudidi gwa sente. Ikiriza twanjurire bet paka umunyamukago wawe. Yigenda mukutu gwa bet paka utandika kwangura mpaka. Hamizano yona yawe yokunda nkempira ya Premier League, La Liga, Bundesliga, Virtual Games nka Aviator, Jackpot, nendijo minji nibakwana za bonasi nebindi byamani. Yegita betpaka.com uri gukoresha promo code ya Tayari West utunge bonuses utandike kwangura mpaka. Betpaka ni rebero rw'ekitongore cya Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board of Uganda kandi okubetinga kuri kwikiriza bw'abaryansi y'imyaka 25 amateka n'ubushoboreshe n'ibikoratirwa.
Yagurra Zuku TV decoder na satellite dish erizoba aha kabeyi kace emitwaro 89 zonka kandi Zuku decoder aha mitwaro 8 zonka. Rero shemererwe obwo rwerebera channels nungi nka series ezabana, music, amahure agaloko hamwe na gaheru yihanga nezindi nyingi. Yerebere Zuku Smart aha mitwaro 12 zonka, Zuku Smart Plus aha mitwaro 16, Zuku Classic aha mitwaro 25, Zuku Premium amtware 325 yegite aha Zuku erizoba buzima oshemererwe.
Amazina ganje ni Captain George Mike Mukura okwenda entebe y'obuhezi wa chairman wa NRM okuzwekera Eastern Uganda. omusingi gwa ekibiina kya NRM n'ebintu bina okulinda ihanga lyawe okunda Africa entungaka y'abantu boona n'enkola ya demokrasia. Omwebembezi waitu His Excellency General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni ayebembere Uganda kurungi twatunga obusinge amaani hati nitwenda okugateeka aha okuhangawo emirimu y'eminyeeto okurwanyisa obworo hamwe n'okuhisha obuheereza obulungi bw'amaizi obwegyese ebyamagara n'ebindi by'okureetaho ogugigahara gwa boona. Ehereza Captain Mukuru Karuru tugumiseyo n'etunguka tukwataniise na President Museveni. Mwebere munonga n'asiima Ruhanga barinda.
So they will be able to ensure that the farmers do the right harvesting. They will ensure that the factories pick and buy the right tea, just like we have done for the coffee and done for the milk, where we fought the transportation of milk in jerrycans. That's what we are doing, Your Excellency. And I request the participants here that yes, we know the challenges, but let's cooperate together. If it's about standards, before we deploy the agricultural police to close the factories, let's employ self-regulatory mechanisms. That's how we shall all win.
Here to answer any other issues that will emerge in your discussion with your people. I invite the Right Honorable Speaker to say his remarks and invite you, thereafter invite Your Excellency. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Frank. Mr. President, sir, we have been talking to our colleagues here, and our assertion has always been consistent that we are lucky to have a president who listens to his people. These people have a lot of concerns, and they are much eager to hear from you than me. So I take this opportunity, sir, to invite you to address them.
I will speak in both English but also some of the local languages. The Right Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker, the Honorable Ministers, Members of Parliament, the tea sector operators. What the NRM guided you, especially since 1996, was on the business of wealth creation. I have been involved in these efforts since the 1960s, so I have got a clear picture. Now, by 1996, we had consolidated our thinking. And in that manifesto of 1996, we advised you, because the first years were peace and so on, the minimum to stabilize the country. But you remember 1995, I made a countrywide tour, and I was telling you of Okurembeka, Okutangiriza, to use the peace to create wealth in the homes. Now, when it came to wealth in the homes, we advised you that if you want to get out of poverty, there are 4 sectors where you can go and you get out of poverty. Sector 1, commercial agriculture. Going away from working only for the stomach. Sector 2, industries, manufacturing, and artisanship. Sector 3, services, hospitality, transport, medical. And Sector 4, ICT. This is all in writing. And talk of jobs. Jobs come from wealth. I, Yoweri Museveni, I own a farm, it's mine, but I employ people. Somebody owns a factory and he employs people. Another one owns a hotel and he employs people. All this we put in this, especially the one of 96. The sectors are 4. Emirimo obugaiga n'obushangwahi omubichweka bina obuhingi n'obulisa obukukora sente amakorero za kampani z'obuhereza nk'ez'engyenda n'amahoteri hamwe n'ebyoma bya karimagyezi ebibizira hati. Egi emirimo ya gavumenti emikubano mu Rwanda egi ni mikye munonga turimo twa gavumenti. Memba wa paramenti manya bihe ebyo turimo tuke munonga situkubaasa kuhezaho obuzibu bwaitu. What I'm saying is that the government jobs which people spend so much time fighting over are very few. All the government jobs are 480,000 in Uganda. All of them. The population is 46 million. So government jobs cannot be a solution. It is the other jobs in the 4 sectors. Of course, government jobs also are part of service delivery in a way. Because when you are a policeman, you are providing security service. The soldier is providing the defense service. A clerk somewhere is providing administrative service. So government jobs are actually really part of the services sector. Now, once you are clear about that, and you and even the children, when the children grow up, tell them the address for wealth and jobs are 4 areas: commercial agriculture, factories, services, ICT. There is no other way. You can waste your time, talk, do this, listen to liars, but I can assure you there is no other way. So now, once you are clear about that, then you say, where can I enter this wealth creation effort? And for people with land, the easiest area to enter is commercial agriculture. And when it came to, as opposed to okorenda yonka, working only for the stomach. And when it came to that, In that manifesto, because you know what NRM does is always deliberate and recorded. But people don't care, they just waste time talking about this. It's really amazing how people can really mislead themselves. Now, in that manifesto, we advised you, if you want to go to commercial agriculture, be aware of two types of agriculture. There's what we call intensive agriculture, where you use a small piece of land to engage in high-value enterprises. Oriki kurondera eryo icyo rakore winita kariya orike hikibiri oriki kurondera eryo icyo rakore yigendesereze hikibirezi izinyine nkazi koze santa okugirira ka yanjye byo kurya ngajyane sente ziri kumara ekyo tukatorera Uganda nta kigamba. What I'm saying is that if you have got a small piece of land, like you have said there are people from Zombo. Zombo, Nedi, where are the Zombos? Stand up. Nedi, Afoyo Bino, Beping. We are speaking our language, these people don't know. Those Zombos have fragmented the land badly in the Rugubara areas. They have Zombos. Come here in front, some of you. A few of you, 2 or 3. What is the average land holding in Zombo? The average land holding per family, per home?
About 5 acres.
Oh, you are rich people. 5 acres, those are rich people. You are not as bad off as the Rugubaras. 5 acres?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Is there anybody from Rugubara? Those didn't come. Thank you. Afoyo. Sit down, go and sit.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I'm also someone from Rugubara, and I'm RDC working in the Zombo district.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
You are RDC, I thought you were a farmer.
No, sir.
Who is the farmer? I want to hear from the farmer, not RDC.
Your Excellency, my name is Victor Opio. I am the chairperson of Zombo Tea Growers.
What is the average holding in Zombo, land per family?
About 5 acres per family.
Very good. You are not so bad off. Sit down. The ones sit down. The ones who are really bad off are the Rugubara. They have 2 acres or less. So, and we even have other victims, like your big minister, Chakuragawino, is from Busoga, Iganga. What is the average land holding in Iganga?
Excellency, on average in Iganga, it is 1 acre or less.
Yes. So, you can see that we are dealing with very serious patients. People who, because of not being guided, have fragmented land. Every time the head of the family dies, the children fragment the land. So in 1996, I had already seen this. We had been talking about it in the 60s as students, but people were not listening. Everybody is an authority. This is an authority. This is an authority. To work for you, to work for you. You talk, like the Bible. Those preachers who are preaching, John the Baptist, they will preach. Even Jesus came, they actually killed Jesus. Can you imagine? Jesus, who was healing people, resurrecting the dead, he was killed. By crooked people who are not serious. The negative. So from the 1960s, we are saying, you people, because we had studied this in the schools, in other parts of the world, the Industrial Revolution, the Agricultural Revolution in Europe, the enclosure system, we were studying them. Then we would come back and look at your people. These people are here. They still have this land. You can imagine independence. Population of Uganda was 6 million people. Many of the areas were empty. Do you know people called Bachiga? Have you ever seen a Muchiga? Nyana kureba abachiga babitereko mwija. Ababitereko ati kwenda tayibogo no mukamwishitama. Abachiga obto abahita kali abushabitereko. Family ekabayine ekebagana hikazingaye. Itakari to abaherere busha Uganda. Amzindaro.
Zikaba ziri nyinge z'omuntu yabera abana abasanize yabera twara.
Kan yuko shongora katwara zinga.
Akatwara yekazi nka 10.
Okay.
Yes.
Mbashati wine zinga.
Ati ndiyo wabirna.
Okagura wahanga.
Nkagura na hanga mukama wanje ko
yuri umugeye.
Tumunonga.
Ata abandi average yeta.
Average bari mu ekazi emwe n'ecweka ishatu bati.
Kongo bana bakatungita kali.
Abinje nabemwe.
Abakutura ubinyi bakatungita kali yabusha kandi ringi.
Yes.
Sit down. Ara abakiga bakabafurira nkaga tano na mwenda garuka ababitereko hagira wagaruka.
Atano na mwenda nkaga.
Yes. Ubone ufuruka nkani mbareo. Nibafuruka nibaza bitereko nibaza muizi nibaza rukoni. You can imagine what I was saying in our local language. There was a problem of overcrowding in the Kigezi area. So the colonial government and the kingdoms, working with one of the Bachiga leaders called Ngorogoza, they offered to accommodate these Bachiga who were overcrowded. Of course, artificially, I think overcrowded artificially in Kabare area. And they were given free land, no buying. Each family 10 acres. What they were saying in our local language is that umutakana na tungeria eliar kubasa. a family would take whatever land they thought they could manage. Land was just free. But from that time, 1959, because of being blind, here now they are saying that the average in their area is 1 acre. You can see here there is danger. The Bible says a country without a vision perishes. So if you have got 1 acre, you have got 10 children, and you divide again, what will happen? Now, some of us who have been like John the Baptist, making noise. From the 1960s, we have been making noise. You people, be careful. Now, by the time we came back from fighting, 1986, I could see that the situation was getting out of hand. That's why, therefore, after the short period of stabilization, I started the campaign in the Cattle Corridor, Nyabusho's area, about wealth creation. I started with those people there. And for them, I was telling them, you people, you are busy with the indigenous cows, which are not, those indigenous cows are very precious if they are properly selected. But at that time, they were not selected properly. They were mixed. Many of them would give little milk. They were high milkers, but they had not been identified. We have identified them now. I have got Ankole cows which milk as much as the European cows and even better. But at that time, they were not yet sorted out. So that's how I made the Chibaro Chura in Ruo. I said, you people, if you have got 4 acres and less, you should use intensive agriculture, where you use a small piece of land, but you select enterprises that will give you good money, even if you do them on a small scale. And when I did the Chura, the Chivaro, I saw number 1 was coffee. The Colonial coffee, not the old coffee. Numanyimwe ababushenyi abagurusi baitu abayobari aha abandi bakiriho na hati mukeretaro mukeraro ba mukaira ba kikuri ba bashasha takwasa kubaria umugurusi abagurusi abo okwimura mukumanya okwimura tubakumara nyankora tari umunyankora urukumanya nyankora no okwimura uri nyankora babare mu okwimura I know I am a rukchimanya no
Your Excellency, Nibarar Ephraim Ganshaga kurga buhweju okwimura no kureba ekintu okachanga kandi okachangira kimwe.
Ganshanga is the form of Nyankwera at least. You still remember some words. Okwimura kikagire ekigambo omukama kuyabera kuhaka kubi. Ogenda abanyankore bakabatene kwita. Ujye n'umugambira ati mukamange unkwatire kubi hati nakwimura naza kwihongera abakama bandi umusibura open bakito kwimura to withdraw allegiance from Dero akibana yenda akutanga atotagenda nkankorera icyo beno yenda. Hati abaguru sabo ba mukera ba kikuri n'abandi abaguru subeta bashema ba umugenzi chairman wetu washema abantu abo bakayimura umwani umyaka yankaga nyubu nkandi mukurwana na amini yanshanju ngo abanyabushenyi abantu bahinga umwani hati bakagurgaho baza kuri sente z'amate nimukimanya kimwe abaha emyana bagitemo abenshi abukuba umwani guriyo mukuru bene mpora bako yetera umwani ngo umwani nugwa NRM guriyo umwani mukuru gukadiba hati kutoyizire twakora research twagira ba researchers ba Professor Sebunya bare tumwana gwa kulono ngo bintu gwera munonga ukira guri ukiza guri okwere mirundi 5 atiko nabazire kibaro cy'umwana umusi gwa kulono najya ntaka ikibaro kintu kirungi najya ntikemwe mutemo umwana ike ya kabiri mutemo ibijuma ike ya kashatu mutemo ibinyatsi byo kuri sente ike ya kana otemo ibikurya kuriye kanyima oteye nkoko z'amahuri oteye nempuno abatara abasilamu n'abanyankora bere bakabata kuriye mpuno ko ngabahate impuno baziherize dero omuchara omyegwe omiga tutikete miga ekshara otemu ebiduba bibyenyanja niko nabahabwira umuhandike omwani tindaga nanka pam ngabari kibaro cya pama na reba kitakubasa amuntu wahikina no garka hanze chai tina gitamu umuriye bitinda giteremu abuko ikibaro nkakibara ebicori tinda biteremu ebikojo tinda biteremu nawe n'ibitokere binkatarushuwa kuko kandi fu kwine byokurya na za muhogo nkantene kibaro kirikorekage tena bitamu etabe aboko abo murhango ko ngo kandi bahinga etabe ko abakigaboko so inyo na bahabura emirimo mushanjwejo. What I'm saying is that in 1996, after the careful study and after doing some work in the cattle corridor, I determined that somebody of 4 acres or less can get very good money if he selects the enterprises carefully. 1 acre for the new Colonial coffee, which we had developed. Not the old one. The old one will not make any money. Secondly, fruits, especially mangoes, oranges, or pineapples. And in the cold areas, if you do apples, even much better. 3 pasture for acre for milk. 4 an acre for food crops. And then in the backyard, poultry for eggs, piggery, and then in the wetlands, fish farming. Not in the center of the wetlands, but on the periphery. Now, people who listen to us are doing well. I don't know whether they can show you some of my videos. They can show you one boy called Ijara of Solote. I had shown him to you, but you can see him again. if he's there on the screen here.
Hello, my name is Joseph Ijala. I'm the proprietor of Taifa Farm, which is located in Serere in a place called Kakusi, where we are. And in Taifa we have dairy, poultry, and we're also located in Serere in a place called Kakusi, where we are. And in Taifa we have dairy, poultry, and we're also making laundry bar soap. But we also have the value addition aspect of the farm, where we produce yogurt and pack it, tin it for the market. This project started 11 years ago after an inspiration from His Excellency, the President of Uganda, when he had come here and he was teaching people about the 4-acre model. He was having a rally in Soroti, and that time I was working as a taxi driver. I was doing that master business in Soroti. So when I heard this, when I heard he was around, I crossed to go and listen to his story. And he was talking about a 4-acre model, how to improve household income. So when I came back, I was fired because I delayed there and the taxi came close. And the guy said, you go and eat those words that you had. But I had already this land, 2.5 acres, but I also had local chicken here. But after hearing that, I got inspired to put more effort on raising this chicken. So I raised the chicken to the tune of about 100 of them. Then I got a small incubator. That was about 4 eggs. So I used that incubator for multiplying my local chicken farm. Eventually, I was having 1,500 local chicken around. I was very famous for local chicken. So, but then local chicken were not answering my day-to-day needs. So I decided to translate it to layers. In Taifa Farm, we have 10,000 layers, which give me about 310 trays per day. And each tray goes at a price of 10,500. So after the 3 million, about 3 million shillings a day from the eggs that we get. Of course, it varies depending on the cost of the feeding, but at least a half goes for management, a half goes to our pocket as Taifa. So after selling the layers, that money, I invested it on dairy. I started dairy with the 4 cows. But you know, I have multiplied very fast because I'm using AI. I have my own semen bank here, so I do artificial insemination. And then I also got a vet who was able to train some of us here with the veterinary knowledge. I think he's even here, that gentleman there, our vet. So the cows that I'm going to show you are cows that are bred from Taifa Farm, that produce my highest produce.
No, and he, of my 7 enterprises, he took 2 initially. Poultry for eggs, and we hear that each day he took 2 initially. That each day he earns 3 million shillings per day. 3 million shillings per day. So even if you deduct costs, he remains with about 1.5 million per day. Then he now also went into milk. We don't have time to listen to all of it. He's now selling more than 300 liters a day. And altogether he earns more than 1 billion shillings a year. And when he deducts costs, he remains with about 800 million. Now let's look at another one, Biamkama, who started recently, 4 years ago after I talked to him. For him, he has got...
Welcome. My name is Fred Biamkama. I'm a member of Parliament of Ogangezi West Constituency, Kakubiro District. We are now at our 4-acre demonstration farm. The land we have here is approximately 4 acres. This is a farm we started 2 years back here. We have a half acre of pineapple. We have cows for zero grazing. We have 12 of them for zero grazing, 2 which are giving us milk. We have poultry, about 25,000 birds, but only 11,000 are giving us eggs. And we have 1 acre of grass. We have piggery, those are very many. And 1 acre of coffee mixed with banana. Where we are, this is the 4-acre model farm. I did this activity to teach my voters, to lead by example, so that my voters can learn what measure the president tells the public. This is an initiative I learned from the president sometime back when he sent me to learn to Kaumu, to Kisozi. I copied what I copied, this is what I came up with. And you see as we move, or that side, this side, that's my 4-acre model farm. The house as well. I don't sleep here, but if I would sleep here, the house as well is seated on this 4-acre model farm. When you get like the half an acre of pineapple per harvest, you get about 4.5 million. When you get the cows per month, because there are 2 which are giving me milk, each one gives me 12 liters per day, we get about 1.4 per month, because the breeds which we got at first were not giving good milk. But we have got some cows which they tell us they are giving about 25 to 30 liters, and we know by the end of this year they will have produced, and we see. When you look at poultry, out of the 25,000 birds, it's only 11,000 giving me eggs. Others are soon giving me, and I get 302 trays per day minimally, because 11,000 birds are supposed to give me 366 trays. But because of the feeding method of deep litter, I don't get all the eggs. I get 302 trays per day minimally. When you look at the piggery, in a month, I can get about between 150 and 180 piglets. But those I don't sell.
So
I give to my neighbors trade.
You have seen how this Biamkama, who started 4 years ago after I had talked to him, when he got elected, his father was my friend, Karol Kamanyire. He brought the boy to me and said, this boy has been elected member of parliament for that Bugangese area. So I told him what I tell everybody. But you know the story of the sower in the Bible. You saw some of the seeds fall on rocky ground and they dry. So many of my words fall on rocky ground, they dry. So I said, you boy, if you want to be useful to your people, 4 acres model, that I have told you. For him, he went immediately and started. He's still going, because you can see the cows he has are not among the best. And the coffee, I didn't hear well what he's getting from the coffee. And the pineapples, he has got a half an acre. But from the eggs alone, you heard him saying that a month he gets 55 million net, because he sells 302 trays per day of eggs. 55 million shillings net in a month, in 12 months, that's about 600, 700 million shillings from eggs alone. So, this is the message we gave in 1996. Intensive agriculture for the people with small piece of land. But we pointed out that no, but Uganda cannot live on the 7 enterprises only. Uganda cannot survive on coffee, fruits, dairy, food crop, eggs, and the other ones alone. We need, because even the intensive farming like the dairy needs animal feeds. Poultry, you need animal feeds. Fisheries, you need fisheries feeds. Cows, you need feeds. And some of the feeds are from maize. You, of 4 acres, don't go for maize because you will get poor out of that effort. Let the one with big land be the one to do the maize. The ones with big land do the maize because we did it even for intensive agriculture. We needed the maize. We need the cotton. The shirt I'm putting on is cotton from Uganda, from cotton to garment. We need tobacco, the smokers need tobacco. We need the basoga, the chakuragazi, ebikado, ebikojo, sugar cane. Are we going to import sugar? No, we need sugar. Some people produce sugar cane. We needed the indigenous cows that time before we had sorted them out. We needed them for beef, for leather, and so on. But those should be done by people with big land. And we call that extensive agriculture. Now, when I went to Ajumani, Moses Ali's people told me that from one get 1 million a year. Now, if you have got only 2 acres, or 1 acre like Chakuraga, or like the Bachiga in the Vitereko now, how will you get out of poverty? If you grow cotton and you get 1 million shillings a year, including costs, how will you get out of poverty? It's blindness. You can see people blind during the day. This is what I really find difficult to accept. But we need cotton, and cotton is profitable, but you need to do it on a big scale. So, if I am getting 1 million per acre, 10 acres, 10 million. 100 acres, 100 million. 1,000 acres, 1 billion. I can actually get 1 billion from cotton. But I need to do it on a big scale. It's just like medicine. When you go to hospital, they give you a dosage for a child, a dosage for an adult. It's just, this is what we are talking about. So, tea, when I made the chibar, and I put it in writing, both in the manifesto, but also in the booklets, which I have here, I can give them to you. My people can give them to you. Tea was among the extensive agriculture crops. And when I went to Kabad, I begged his lordship, Bishop Karisto Rubaramera, said, please, abanaku banje, beho muri chai. The Catholic Church there was growing tea and promoting it. I said, thank you very much. Kunkabanaku banje, beho muri chai. Owahiki na no garanzo, ulichiku muto muri chai. Chai ehingwe abagai. Abita kerhango. I told Bishop Ramela that please don't involve my smallholders into tea. Like I've been telling the Basoga, please, the smallholders don't go for sugar cane. Sugar cane should be done by people with big land. I looked after Uncle Cows for you. Because me, I was not in poverty, I was not in Mpita Yoboro. I could select, show them this for my cows. If they are there, they normally don't take them properly. They have not done it. So, the rich people, big land, can be the ones to do for us the low value, but necessary enterprises which we need for the country. I encouraged prisons to grow the cotton. Prisons are now growing the cotton. Tumuzananura wakazireba bamushoga kananuka. You go and get better pictures, you people don't. Bankungura wakole kote makumi ashatu. So therefore, tea, from the beginning, was seen as a low-value crop, but which would only make money if you do it on a big scale. Now, recently I was with Bishop Karisti, with other people who were talking about something else, but I checked with them. When the prices of tea were good, how much were you getting per acre? They told me that somebody would get 5 million per acre, and that if you deducted the cost, he would remain with 2.5 million net per acre per annum. Yes, but you can see that's a lot of money. If you have got 10 acres, that's 25 million net. 100 acres, 250 million. 1,000 acres, 2.5 billion. The prices were still good. But now, so from the beginning, tea should have been grown by the medium or large scale people, not smaller ones. I don't know whether that is the case now, you will tell me. But now, we have another issue of business which is very clear. And if you read my documents, I am always very careful the 7 things that I recommended were all, I had studied them. Coffee had a global demand, big demand. About 10 years, 20 years ago, it was about 118 million tons demand globally, I think. It's now 160 million tons. The demand the milk, the demand is big. When I promote milk, it's big demand globally. Fruits, the global demand is big. Internal demand is there. There is regional demand, but there's also international demand. Fish, the same. All these products among my 7, they are all in big demand internally, regionally, and internationally. So the risks of Okudiba, that things have no market, or the price collapses completely, are much fewer. But of course, business is about the demand and supply. If supply exceeds the demand, price will go down. But in some crops, it's worse than in others. So therefore, what happened to tea is that, first of all, global demand for tea, I have it here. Global demand is 6.2 million tons. The production of tea now is 6.6 million tons. So the production is bigger now than demand. 6.2 million. This is according to the internet. You can go on the internet and check. I asked my people to check on the internet. The global demand in money, some studies say the global value of tea is $102 billion. Some say $79 billion. Now, if you compare this with coffee, the global demand of coffee, 160 million tons, money, 460 billion. 460 billion. You bring that document I gave you both. I will tell you the global value of these other things. I have them there. I'm preparing a speech for your conference, NRM people. So I have all the figures here. Let me steal from that document. Better. It's part of the speech I'm preparing for the conference. The global demand for coffee, $460 billion. Fruits, $688 billion. Dairy products, $893 billion. Poultry, $336 billion. Piggery, $397 billion. Fish, $671 billion. So if you compare this with tea, you see that the demand, the value in money is less, and the demand is less. From the beginning, that's why I didn't put it among the 7. But if you did it, because like I have been doing Ankole cattle for you, at that time the value of cows was not so high, but now they have come up. And Ankole cow now can go for 6 million shillings because they have realized their value. But at that time when I was doing it, nobody cared about the Ankole cows. But because I had big numbers, I was making money. So the story of tea is is number one, the global demand, and number two, the value of returns per acre. Now, what happened was that there were political upheavals in some of the tea consuming countries, Pakistan, Egypt, and so on. So that's why the price has come down. So what I want you to help me with, now the price of coffee has also come down a bit. It was high. It has come down a bit. Why? Because when the prices were very high, there had been a drought in Brazil, and I think also in Vietnam, which are the other big producing countries. I hear now the production has come up in those countries. That's why the price has gone down. So therefore, what I want you to help me determine is whether the disease, this collapse of price is permanent or temporary. If it is temporary, then we should persist, knowing that it will recover. But also, I have been hearing that yes, then we should persist, knowing that it will recover. But also, harvesting practices are not good. There is a problem about using, we are not using enough fertilizers, and so on. If we do all those, will the price recover? If we do all those, will the price recover and be sustainable? But in any case, I want us to agree, will the price recover? If we do all those, will the price recover and be sustainable? But in any case, I want us to agree that tea is a low value crop which should be done by the medium and large scale. Do you agree with that or don't you? The one of 2 acres, please, oyo mumuleke, acres ebiri mumuleke oyo arukunakuye. Now, regarding the issue of tea authority, that's colonial mentality. That's the colonial mentality. The tea, I don't know, the other one, coffee marketing board, then this other one, what do you call it? Lint marketing board. Abanyankole bagire fumu, omwana omwe, bagira bata, abanyankole baho mu twashobora. Omwana omwe kyendwanyisha. Omwana omwe kyendwanyisha. Nkimanyisa engisha abanyankole bakabajwe kabana okubinga ebisirani. Amulets kubinga ebisirani. Omwana omujwe kurigisha kubinga ebisirani bitambikikaho. Kuko wino omwana omwe engisha zona ozumutaho. Aboko no muwenga. That's the colonial approach. 3 C's: cotton, coffee, copper. But we are telling you, NRM has been telling you that you can make money from cassava. Cassava is a cash crop. In the colonial times, they were telling you that cash crops were coffee, cotton, and tobacco, and tea. How about bananas? Those were not cash crop. They were food crop. How about maize? No, that's not cash crop. NRM is telling you that all those are cash crops. Maize is a cash crop. More money from coffee than from cassava, than from many of these. Fruits, big cash crop, as you can see. Bananas, emboga, nakati, those are all cash crops. Eggs, poultry, piggery, all those are cash crops, cash products. So, are you going to have authority for pigs, then authority for nakati, then authority for maize, then authority, what's how will you end? All these are all money earners. So therefore the answer is Minister of Agriculture to have desks dealing with each crop. That minister has got desks, coffee desk, this desk, that desk, that desk. This is the approach. So the idea of authority, I don't know what, this is just colonial, because they had only one or two things to deal with. Here we are dealing with the big, Uganda is lucky, we have got all this potential. The way to do it is ministry through the desks. So therefore, what I want to learn from you, and that's why I said, don't worry, I will get time and go and we share ideas. If we do, what can we do that can stabilize the price of tea? But having agreed that tea is an extensive agriculture crop to be done by medium scale and large scale people, not small scale. Thank you, Katonda Wabebe.
Can we join hands to appreciate His Excellency the President for the good message? Is that enough? Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for the message. You have put the question is to the participants, and I have a proposal, Your Excellency, that we have the three categories. Number one, the outgrowers. Number two, the nursery operators. Number three, the processors. From each of those categories. So this is a total of 9 people. And Your Excellency, I beg for permission to select them. I go ahead? No, select after you have expressed interest. Because have you had a preparatory meeting to select the speakers? 3 of them or 1? Okay, what we do, if you have agreed on 1 per category, let's have those 3 first, then we have 6 more. So, who has been agreed upon to represent growers? Growers. Growers. So let him come forward. For growers. What is your name? What is your name? You come near. You come near, and then we shall seek your consent, please. First come, we shall seek your consent. We shall seek their consent. Only 1. Who of the 2? Who? Onesimus. To speak on behalf of growers. Okay, let's have Onesimus. And then, in addition to that, we are suggesting that we have 2 more growers. By show of hands. Professor Kabwejere, and another one, the lady there. You come, lady. Okay, maybe you can know that is number 1, professor is number 2, and the lady is number 3. You can even sit and wait. And then let's have 1 from Zombo. Agreed? What is your name? Geoffrey Jungera. Yes. You can sit, you are number 4. Sorry? They can stay here. But professor can wait there. Madam, are you comfortable waiting here? Okay, please you come. Okay, then nursery operators, did you agree on when? Who? Yes, come forward. So you give consent? What's the name, sir? Okay, Dr. Runumi. And 2 more by show of hands. Okay, the gentleman there, you come forward, and then that one come forward. And the lady, okay. Not the lady, the other lady. The other lady. Okay, so those are nursery operators. So finally, processors. Did you agree on any? Processors, did you agree on any? Hajibasa Javarava. Please come forward. Or you can wait there. Then 2 more processors. 2 more processors. 2 more processors. Come forward, they are mentioning your name. Another one? Captain who? Come. So, I think we have agreed on those who are going to speak. And we are going to start from outgrowers. Number 1, come, but be mindful of time. Then number 2, number 3, and number 4.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, Your Excellency, the President. My name is Onesimus Masco. I'm a tea farmer, but also with 30 years of factory management experience. Let me speak in the interest of tea outgrowing. Your Excellency, through government intervention of free tea seedling supply, Uganda's tea industry is dominated by tea outgrowers as opposed to processing factories owning nucleus estates. As a result, more than 70% of Uganda's tea acreage, people grow tea and supply it to factories which they do not own. We have 36 tea processing factories. Only 6 out of the 36 are owned by farmers, but even then, 2 out of the 6 are currently shut down. That means the mode of tea industry in Uganda is such that farmers grow tea and they supply to processing units which they do not control. Secondly, Your Excellency, we don't have a zoning policy, we don't have regulation, as you are well aware, and Your Excellency, I want to put it on record that we are looking for regulation, not an authority. That shouldn't be distorted. So, would like to, with my experience, Your Excellency, and my colleagues, we would like to agree with you on all the statistics, what global tea demand, consumption, and everything is all correct. We have one, and we want to answer your question, Your Excellency, to start with, that the 2 interventions you have mentioned, which we are looking for, fertilizer intervention and green leaf quality regulation, will cover Uganda tea industry problems more than 80%. As we look for fertilizer, the industry, when earning what we should be earning, Your Excellency, last year, Uganda averaged 85 cents of a dollar, Kenya averaged $2.18, Rwanda averaged $2.82. We have better growing conditions than some of those neighbors. We need to do the right thing. If only we can get $2, the industry will be able to finance its own fertilizer. But Your Excellency, we cannot take ourselves out of the problem right now. That's why we are praying, Your Excellency, for fertilizer subsidy as is to reignite the industry, And Your Excellency, we are informed that you have thought about us. We came here expecting that announcement, Your Excellency. Secondly, when that fertilizer comes, Your Excellency, we believe there will be a contribution from farmers, but meanwhile we are coming from poverty of a tea crisis, so we don't have where to borrow money, we don't have reserves. We request you to set up a fund where farmers can borrow what they will contribute to the fertilizer scheme, Your Excellency. And then for regulation, Your Excellency, tea is a value chain, and the chain is as strong as its weakest link. The weakest link of Uganda tea value chain is at the garden. Yield, we are yielding less than half of potential. We have gardens in Uganda which have yielded 8 tons of processed tea per hectare per year, but outgrowers average 1,200 versus a potential of at least 3 tons. And fertilizer is the main, and regulation fertilizer will help both on quality and quantity.
Fertilizer is clear. What do you mean by green leaf regulation?
Your Excellency, we have
abahingi okubaragira gukora emikorere
kutaha emikorere, Your Excellency, kugira ngo abahingi bona basoroma amajani amarungi kandi abafactora baragurama
abahingi okubaragira gukora emikorere
kutaha emikorere, Your Excellency, kugira ngo abahingi bona basoroma amajani amarungi kandi abafactora baragura amajani mabi mu batere ekibonerezo, Your Excellency. Ntabimaraho byona. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Now, ekiwagamba ekikugira ngo abahingi factory tuzabo ekyo nikireta ki harimo kabiki?
Your Excellency, we have failed to align interests. We have the value chain starts from harvesting, then the garden owner, then the factory owner. Mbwenu omuhingi, we have failed to align interests. Omuhingi
tenor kumwemerera, there is nobody who supervises the muhingi.
Omuhingi na sorome ebishansha, owa factory waganga tinyoni nyenda marungi, mutahiwe aja tinyoga mpe kandi kuonjere sente.
Okay, thank you.
Your Excellency, all protocol observed. My name is Mutunji Maclean Chamtetera. Nizarwa Bushenyi shwerwa Mitoma. Ndiyo muhinji w'amajani kandi ngaruka nyebembere kibina cy'abakazi ekikwetwa Women Tea Innovations Uganda.
Chamtetera kana atera mpira.
Mzee wamanya kandi noshamukashoma mu ishomero rumwe.
No, he was a bit ahead, but I was at Mbara High School. He was at Mbara at that time.
Mzee akafa konko mucyara waruho kandi akana yebembera weso abwabushenyi district.
I remember her.
Yes, mzee inwogwe kandi yondi yo muhinji obuhinji ni mbwiho mukayitu. Ekinkwenda gamba amajani gitu agakongerera ari intervention zezibagamba. Mzee nani shaba kushobora kintu cha intensive farming. Ni shaba kushobora ngu amajani nobwa kubagarya kuhingwa 1 acre model or 4 acre model still ngawasa kora sente twabantu basakora intervention zezibiri okongera ziyo mwamone simasi yagambire eyo kubanza nkokuna nakushobora irito twine kibina kitu Women Tea Innovations ekitukora mu tea value addition and product diversification. So nanisha wangu ezo interventions zibiri kuzakongerwa mamani amajani nogwe kwa eke mwene ekora
value addition otomo muharangi.
Mzee inchirize chinshoboreho amajani to mu Uganda ko tukuchumanya basically we produce CTC black teas. All our factories agona majani agoba kutwara factory bakagasharagura bakacheza bakaga carrying waba nozaganywa wagato muchikopo ngija infusion Nigeria crushed, so you may even hardly tell ngwanywa majani. So when I talk of value addition twine ndijo miringo eya majani kandi on an important note are the most expensive. For example, twine green teas, twine white teas, twine black teas, twine yellow teas, kandi zona ezikurwa mu majani gitu aga kaneriya sinensi sagutwinga mu Uganda. Abahinja bajyaha bukora na neco mwacumanyire kandi mze inkiruza nshobore tinkugamba nk'ekigambo we have already done it practically. Omu ekemwe no shoroma mu kilograms 5 za white tea. Kiremwe ya white tea negura shilingi 40. Ni ngamba ekinakozireho nyina wo kumpera obujuruzi amajana go twagaguruzi. White tea
uzabaye.
Your Excellency abajanaga abogama munonga n'abantu abo kurugaheru abamwe tubino mu Uganda konka kutugezaho gukoresa emiringo mingi yo kuronda market through social media n'abatayi bitu tufuna abantu abo gura amajanaga kandi bongera batamisiriza ngo akatare karuho na hatu bariyo bagadushaba so ko kwihamu first route
hatobo kuyihamu mtwara makumyana zona wazabazinga y'umuhika.
Your Excellency ejo ye route yo kubanza ko kwata kirita neza route yo kubanza waziteza mu burikirege mtwaro makumyana wateza mu 5 ezo ni miliyoni 2 konka no shoroma mu round 2 hatezo ni miliyoni 4 per month twaba tuizireho sorry yes ekikugamba tware tona samples kandi na hatazo of now twine na some orders so nani shabangu kutwa kongerwa mwamani omu value addition amajana gaga kakora sente
borekere muharangi ati abakunyama amajana ago mutano omusiyona n'abantu bangaye.
Your Excellency nimbaso butagamba muhendo gwabo konko mu Uganda yitu twagiro kwegesebwa abantu bakagamanya na n'abanya Uganda bo kandi baganywa ahubwo kuba bamwe bagenda bagagura heru bagareto mu Uganda niza ko cyo kurebera Your Excellency twina amajana gwa kweta machati nibagi importinga kurga China kandi amuhendo mwingi konkito mu Uganda tugakora so ni manyangu amajana go twayongera mu mutindo tukagera na networking ya mani
mbona atkankwabure atka corona ba ministry abo wajya ngumwine ikiba kweta speciality tea
yego mzee
nkuba kubyetebyo
yego mzee
mbona ate ijo akata abakunywago nubangaye ministry can you help them do that check the magnitude of the demand for specialty coffee, specialty tea.
Yes, Your Excellency, we'll check it. We even have our scientists here. One under Shobore, they can explain something.
Ukabanza hezi.
Wewe mzee for guidance okongerari yecho tukwiha mwajana go kunyogonka na gambari product diversification.
Njuko shonto yawe kwa limekera. Taruku kutomera cyata kwitegereza
yego mzee
mbona ati specialty tea market nengana ki katuje tukuyambe bakuyambe tuketegere wabare munonga kukireta kunyona ntakukimanya
wabare mzee kanyongere ekindi kwatirine product diversification kurga ryaga amajana go kunywibwa hine binde bintu okurugiro musachi twikoze kandi twakozire ebituhiro mu majani kandi bine sente za higuru twihire mu sabuni twihire mu perfume twihire mu oil nangwa tukagezaho no kora fertilizer ko ngatwaje tubaye tugireke abo kwa twetaga rusache kuchira geji so tutekateka ngo kutwa in addition to amajana go kunywibwa tukiya products zindi nico basa kuyamba tutakarebera akatara kamajana go kunywibwa gonka konko konjera ryebyo byona amajana go ntowasaga kora gabaga go mutindo kandi Your Excellency mutindo bibwa gonka konko konjera ryebyo byona amajana go ntowasaga kora gabaga ryago mutindo kandi Your Excellency mutindo go ngure twa fertilizer so fertilizer niyo myemyo yito majani rero tukongera tukiyamwebi we bari munonga
kale
Your Excellency, yobare munonga okwija okatobwiro buzima nikirungi kweshanga ningamba my niece yaheza kugamba kyamutetera n'owanje na hatin bona n'abanje Veronica processing ti itukoza kureba ngo nakantu kache. Let me speak English because I think it can cover more. The tea we are exporting is actually raw processed. This lady, what she's talking about, there are even medicines in tea. So there is more to eat than just drinking, and more to eat than what we are exporting in bulk. We can do more, and we have capacity to do more. Secondly, Your Excellency, the issue is quality, number one. The quality of the tea. It's not even acreage. We have capacity to do more. Secondly, Your Excellency, the issue is quality, number one. The quality of the tea. It's not even acreage. Acreage, I'm coming to it on the acreage issue. The quality of tea is affected, is influenced by the way the plant, the clone you have, and the growing of it, the fertility you have on the ground. And the fertility, so far in Uganda, we depend on importation of fertilizers. Sometimes we import fake fertilizers, very fake and very expensively. So when we produce our own fertilizers here, and they are quality, we can have acreage produce more than we have been doing. So the quality is influenced by those factors. Now when you have the quality, then the price in the market. But more so, the market is affected by who controls the market. Your Excellency, our tea goes to Mombasa. The people who benefit a lot from our tea are not tea farmers, even some of the processors here, but tea marketeers.
What addition do they have? Why can't we self-direct ourselves?
Precisely. Now that is to do with the policy now. Kenya sells its tea and gets a better price. Rwanda has a presence in Mombasa. We don't have that presence to benefit from our own tea. In fact, I'm sorry to say this publicly, but there seems to be our own tea being given a name of Kenya, being given a name of Rwanda, when in fact it's our tea, and they fetch more money than what we get.
Ati Mukuru kabwegere.
Yes.
Okuteshitirayo. Mukuleta kutokusema.
Okuteshitira yakashi. Kashi wobo tariyo no manye chabaho.
You mean that, so who sells in Mombasa?
Well, that I don't want to go into that one, but the details are available. But the marketing of our tea can be managed here in Uganda. If
of course, I don't. Why should this be the? Why should it be?
It is yesterday.
So, Orukuramuza chaya Uganda no. Orukujitu no kujiramuza.
Marketeers.
No, I have.
Cash it. Onesimus. Brokers.
But what points them?
Onesimus, come here. Ori. Yes. This one can tell you because he's a producer of tea, and he is also affected by those marketeers.
Mzee, it is not true that you are forced to sell tea in Mombasa through the auction. Because, for example, me, 50% of my tea, it is going direct. From here, it goes to Egypt, it goes to Pakistan, it goes to China now, after the global wars. So it is optional. I can sell direct, I can sell through the option.
Yes. And the reason why he does that, he owns the factory. We who don't own factories are at the hands of the factory owners, the processors. So that's, I wanted further to...
Okay,
yes. So ownership of the factories.
Omushango gumugurusika kabwegerera yanjura omukoti nukugira ngu abarokuhabura abanyayuganda embunzya.
Yes. So ownership of the factories.
Omushango gumugurusika kabwegerera yanjura omukoti nukugira ngu abarokuhabura abanyayuganda embunzya okubunzya.
Yes.
Hawking. Okubunzya nimukumanya abantu abakuhabura abanyayuganda embunzya tubaro.
Exactly.
Mbwenu buli omwe nakora nkabetemere.
Kabetemere, that's right. Yes.
Kale kabetemere twaza kugirwanisa.
Thank you very much. And that decision, that statement you have made, Your Excellency, is so important because the price, the quality of tea is affected by the guidance our farmers get. The issue is not small scale only. Even big scale owners don't get enough guidance from the relevant sector of government. Much as we have an agriculture officer at every sub-county, much as we have a chairman LC3, a chairman LC2, a chairman LC1.
Nobody has guided them. They don't know what to do.
Precisely. The knowledge, we are talking about knowledge. Your Excellency, knowledge I have discovered. Ignorance is the worst disease man suffers from. And if we can inform our people so that they know, for example, when you...
No.
That one...
Abamukweta ba brokers.
Yes.
Ababunzi.
Come on, because...
Honestly, we don't gambit.
Yes.
Orukuronda ababunzi noha.
Your Excellency, on a scale of 10, collusion and intrigue at the auction would account for not more than 20%. Our problem is homemade and the product in itself. Your Excellency, why would Rwanda sell for $3 and Kenya sell for $2 at their auction? Your Excellency, I beg that we concentrate on Twisiri.
Ekuhire nchibampera sentenji. Ati orukutora muruza noha.
Your Excellency, we have East Africa Tea Trade Association in a structure zayo. Kandi aba processors mwenu kuri nani kusabari Your Excellency ese kibuzo kikagarukwamo aba factories abari kuguza.
Okay, they will come. They will come. We shall okay, let's go on. Let's go on.
That entry, Your Excellency, needed to keep widening because they are interested people over time in the tea industry.
Okay, let's go on. Let's go on.
That entry, Your Excellency, needed to keep widening because they are interested people over time in the tea industry. There is marketing, it's the importation of fertilizer and all that. There is an interest, a core interest in that situation, and they affect the market, the price of market in Mombasa. But above all, sir, the private owners, they don't take much interest in the quality of the garden as they should, because they compete among themselves. That's what is even affecting the quality. Because one factory.
So would you want zoning?
Not only that, you have in an area like, for example, Chamhunga, you have five factories. What really pains is that a leaf is rejected by one factory and is taken by another. And then when the tea goes to Mombasa, they say Uganda tea. All right? And you have seen Hassan Masaja Baraba. He's the factory owner. And his attention to the suppliers, because he owns a big part of the estate, is not the same thing as some of the factories which depend almost 50% or more on small farmers. They end up cheating them. So what Onesmus was saying, the price in Rwanda, because Rwanda don't grow bigger acreages than ourselves, I don't think. If they do that, that will be unusual. But they cater for the quality of every farmer, and they influence ultimately the price. So consumption of tea is on the rise. More quality, more products from tea are on the market. They are also coming. What this lady has talked about is even an opening. There is still more. And as I said, even medicines are coming from this. But Your Excellency, finally, government has the structure all the way up to LC1. All we need is the message. Tea is grown in LC1.
Yes.
So a message, the chairman, just as he looks after education, just as he looks after health, just as he looks after peace, security. The tea, like coffee, like all these others, Mpinga. Your Excellency, I think now we move away from the acreage issue, the 1 acre, because the 1 acre can actually produce more than we think.
Okay.
And secondly, you can harvest from.
So how much can we get from 1 acre, all things being equal?
That one, Kabwejera, I can't give you to now. I don't want to tell a lie. I never want to give falsehoods. But certainly, we can get more from 1 acre. That 1 acre can
I want somebody to answer that before
can
we
be
end
economic.
today.
The issue that 1 acre can be economic.
You answer it later.
Exactly. So finally, Excellency, when we are talking of government involvement, government interest, it's not necessary to have the authority, but knowledge. Our people need to be educated every day. That's what you do most of the time. But the knowledge doesn't flow down to the grassroots as it should, so that a picker of leaf, so that a processor has a commitment.
No, it's clear.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Okay, move fast.
Senka zarwo mu majani n'agashoroma kandi ija natunga chance nabo mpaka so mu majani nagasa emyaka 10 naba director wa majani emyaka 10 negishaha nkigo muhinji kandi retired director. Your Excellency, kibuzo cyangwa kubuze cyabanza
obutwabere ntitembura amajani bwejo nkaba ndyahabwera nyangi inshomesa nkashomesa emyezi 2 bampa umushara gw'emyezi 2 akari umujungu n'omweta ka umujungu guma akari missionary kariki nuyatandikira amajani bwejo
arigire kufa emyaka nk'ebiri ya fera Zambia. Your Excellency, emyaka nk'ebiri 3 nyuma ndubwo afire bamwe muri twe tukazitwa muzika
akana cy'ubwejo kawo
akabari mishana kara church mission society niwe yaresere school rivers akaba heri kwa tritaka na church mission society umurubuheju bakatimbura amajani rukumirwa na nkaga neshatu.
Yes, I saw it in 1965 nkani mureo.
So kandi aksha yarwe kumirwa na shansho nebiri ibya Uganda byarwa kutabuka. Your Excellency echikurwa mu majani hikemwe twine mbibazo tarukishana Your Excellency twine majani ka yaresere na batahibe agebukonji tigini zina umumbibo nori nyamujanje ago production yago nikwe mwani ogwa abantu ogamba ogo batembere obwa hato mwaka yajuba 2023 tukaza Kenya twatunga imbibo z'amajani nkishatu twatunga corona budgeta 68
nkagenda na kawanga semwegere twaza India batwereke imbibo ensia eyibe ogamba
tukaza Kenya twatunga imbibo z'amajani nkishatu twatunga corona budgeta 68
nkagenda na kawanga semwegere twaza India batwereke imbibo ensia eyibe ogamba.
So Your Excellency you have nkishatu tu nomu
bwani mabaja bagiha Kenya yoro kugambe
bwana mbebeze zishatu kuhereruka wabo hindireje average farmer atakosha munonga kandi atatire mwana minje munonga burukwezo muhikemwe na shoroma mu choro rukumi okwezi amajano gaboneraho waba nokora shiringi rukaga burkiro noza kwinje wasigaza 40% net noshanga wasigaza muhinji ari hikemwe miliyoni na n'imitwaro 20 buri mwaka
nga atumwene biraro amajani yagatera goro
buri hika
abo kuba ijuka nino no mbazi n'umuntu wahikemwe ningi ibiri
cyakabiri
miliyoni na uriya umuharange wa cyamutetera umuntu wahikibiri emwene y'ibyokurya indisho neyo kupaka cent atu nuwa kugira ngo 4 million tuzukumara maka ntwenda something that can bring bigger
ningambekera actually Your Excellency ecyakabiri Your Excellency ne cya Mombasa
so mbona tumachure cyo biraro owakuriro umajani ibumuharangi biraro iheye kibaro yagira ngo amajyana aga hato gari tugakabera ago muntu wahike
konga Your Excellency gahereza abantu miliyoni mukaga zemerumo acharo Your Excellency kanga mbacha Mombasa
konko bworo bo mukayange ni nyina ngo umukaya y'umuntu omwani okay inja kweta omwani nabano bato
omwana gwetu Your Excellency cha Mombasa Your Excellency cha Mombasa cyarimo kurana kwinji abo ko babanta bamwe mbateka nyenda ko cyo kureberaho Rwanda yarahare munonga na Mombasa okushara Uganda yitwa heri abarwana mbatwara amajana Mombasa bagaguza bei nungi okushara naba Kenya so cyo kuteka ngu ba brokers abo bonito tukubero ndanja ngunyine experience wa director okumara emyaka 10 ari garanti factora nkakora mabare nakora Kayonza nakora Mpanga ba brokers ntuberondera tubapointinga tubahumushara kandi baba bariyeno baguza amajana ago ntuba monitoringa every period buri mezi nkasha tuba monitoringa waza mwakati noshanga auctioneer kukorwa Mombasa fair so kugira ngo ba brokers mbatora benyuma akoneka cyemunonga twakwasa kurebuka so Your Excellency ninteka ngu amajani ago kutaka taro Burundi bwago nizo sente ezo kwihayo nkana kwiye kureberaho umukwezi kwa 8 wako guhire Rwanda ekaguza $dollars na sente 30 Kenya yaguza $2 n'eshweka Uganda yaguza $0.84 ahabwa quality so bamagamba cha quality Your Excellency abantu gateka atukureta quality okutemera no mugura amababi urando kubara fatariza twabitebekanisa amajani gitu ngaguraje turasinjira ho Rwanda kandi turasinjira na Kenya emiruni mingi twabatweterereza kutukujabirira amajani gitu gabamabi tuguza hansi so ebyebye bikora munonga tugamba quality nereto ki kandi eshisho ki kandi tubirwe twakora Your Excellency babari munonga.
Thank you, His Excellency, the President. My name is Geoffrey Jungera. I'm a tea farmer from Zombo district. And I'm also the secretary for Uganda Tea Growers Association. thank you for this opportunity to hear the issues surrounding tea in Zombo from the farmers. We also first thank you for allowing tea growing to be revived in Zombo district when our king of Alur requested you. So for the last 10 years, we have been growing tea with the support of government, and we now have about 1,300 acres of grown tea gardens. And these tea gardens are at different level of maintenance. And the people stopped maintaining their tea gardens because, one, they were not seeing the future. When we were told to grow tea, they told us, you grow tea and then they will build a factory so that we sell the green leaf to the factory. 10 years down the road, the factory has not yet been built. UDC, the government agency responsible for the establishment of the tea factory, came and did a feasibility study in 2023. They found this acreage I'm mentioning is available, and they recommended a one-line factory be established. But up to date, they have not done it, and I know they had challenges where there was problem of land. The land which was allocated by Alur Kingdom was encumbered. But now we as community, we have got 15 acres of land from our own acreage that we have, which is well titled, waiting for UDC to construct the tea factory. And my cow is here, and the RDC, they can confirm this. The title is there in the name of the district in trust for the people. So we are waiting for that factory so that it can motivate the small outgrower farmers to grow more tea. And this 1,300 acres which is there, since they are at different level of maintenance, we need more supply of seedlings so that the gardens can be properly established to supply the factory and also attract other investors. Because right now, when an investor comes to Zombo, because they hear that there is tea growing in Zombo, they will not be impressed. So we need to properly establish our gardens. And for the seedlings, actually, we have been following up. In October 2022, government issued a directive that all the seedlings that are in nursery bed should be evacuated. So we in Zombo, we responded, but we said let our supply be deferred to March because that was the rainy season, because October was already a dry season. And after that, they started saying that we are out of time. But we gave a justifiable reason to defer the planting of the available tea seedling. Up now, we still have tea seedling. So we complain to the extent that we even complain to the...
Can they still be planted now?
Yes, sir. They can be planted because right now, as I speak, our documents are with the Ministry of Agriculture. And they're waiting for the permanent secretary endorsement. So this is the information we have. So we want the tea seedling to be evacuated from the garden, planted, and we establish our garden properly. And the tea factory should be established to motivate people to sell. Because right now our women are using rudimentary method to process the tea that they have, and is not bringing them good income. And we think that when government gives Zombo district affirmative action, so that we can also be brought to the level of other tea growing districts. Because now here, we are talking of quality improvement. In Zombo, we have not yet reached that level, but we can begin improving our quality right from the time of good planting. And
Okay, don't take too much time.
Thank you, sir.
Your Excellency, just to help him to bring out the point, when you supported other tea growers with seedlings in 2023, Zombo did not get the opportunity because, as you recall, you gave a one-off support to the tea growers, you bought seedlings for them. But at that time, Zombo was not ready, so we did not give them seedlings. So I think his request is in line with that.
Okay.
On that note, can we have the processors? The processors first. No, we have already selected. We can't select again. Processors, we have Hajibasa Jabalaba, we have you. Another one, we had 3. And Captain, please, you come. And please be mindful of time.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. This is a very tough crowd to be before you, Your Excellency, and I would like to stand on the protocol that has already been observed. Amabara gange ninye Victoria ashabahebwa bakeha hwenchi ndinzarwa ya Bushenyi konkandi mutoro wa Muchiga. I am from a village called Swazi there in Chamuhunga. I have been a farmer all my life with my family, with my parents and his parents, and we were blessed and lucky that we were also able to advance to become processors, where you honored us with your visit and commissioned the factory in Swazi Butare. Swazi Butare, Chamuhunga. I am the chairperson of Uganda Tea Association, which is the apex body of tea processors, tea producers, tea traders, tea packers in this country. We are ably, Your Excellency, represented at the East African Tea Trader Association in a position that I recently assumed on behalf of our great nation. Your Excellency, I would like to focus a lot more on the market, since a lot of the issues on agronomy have already been discussed. I'm very pleased, Your Excellency, that the Ministry of Agriculture is working on regulations that will help us to improve the interaction among the processors and our farmers in the different regions. Your Excellency, 90% of our tea is exported, and that is how we are able to get all these foreign exchange earnings into our country and to contribute mightily to economic development of our different regions in which we operate. Normally, amajani bagatunda through the auction, like 75% of the tea globally is sold through an auction, which goes through a bidding process, a counter bidding process that drives the price of the product. So I believe, Your Excellency, that if the issues that have already been addressed or mentioned by the farmers and the ministers, if they are taken into account, the quality of our tea will improve greatly, because this NPK that we have been seeking to get as a subsidy from government for over 2 years now is a very pertinent part of tea. You cannot have tea without fertilizer, especially that NPK, because this NPK that we have been seeking to get as a subsidy from government for over 2 years now is a very pertinent part of tea. You cannot have tea without fertilizer, especially that NPK. So we are dealing with gardens, Your Excellency, as the immunity deficient. So tuine kugaramu amani gemisiri yetu kusangangu eventually. Your Excellency, ekizibu ekinkurore ekituine amongst ourselves nko tukulikora CTC processing abantu abakira tubakwetegereza the tea trade, even amongst ourselves. Abantu abakira abatandikire kulima majani batatekeho omutima gokumanya majani meriga kuja, knowing that the crop that you're going to plant and harvest and give to the processor who represents you on an international market ought to be of top quality in order for us to represent the country well. Your Excellency, tea can be used to brand this nation because of the different biodiversity. And I believe through the specialty tea that Maharawawe akugambire about, those are one of the ways in which we are going to be able to brand our nation. The numbers for the market for specialty tea may not be that much because it only appeals to people who have an acquired taste, Your Excellency, ya majani. Kusanga ngu omuntu yayenda kunywanka because it's part of tourism kugera nti obuntangenzire bwindi nkagenda nagura amajani abakyala ba women in tea abanyakwine abakora specialty teas along that kanungu. So when you are selling this tea, Your Excellency, it goes with a story that reflects the people, a story that reflects the character of the tea that we are growing, Your Excellency, and a story that reflects the nation as Uganda. So I believe highly that even with the smaller acres, that there is a big chance of and a story that reflects the nation as Uganda. So I believe highly that even with the smaller acres, that there is a big chance of improving the value of our crop to cater for that smaller market. But back to the CTC, Your Excellency, that has been established for so long.
But how much of our tea would that smaller market take?
Your Excellency, because it is a new initiative, we are testing the markets. Like Madame McLean had mentioned, the farmers have undergone several trainings and different sensitizations by the different people who take, especially the Europeans. We have some Chinese, we have people from Russia, Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, everywhere, Your Excellency. It is simply an acquired taste. It's like a premium product, Your Excellency.
It's not yet mass.
It is not mass, but it is high value. So it responds to your concern, Your Excellency, for the smaller gardens. That indeed there is a future for tea, even if we are able to give the smaller farmers, especially those who are in the smaller groups, women in tea. This is something that is being dominated a lot by women.
So you want them not to sell to the factory, but to do it themselves?
Nango hati amajana gagia mu factory maingi. Ago kwetaga speciality tea mateito. So nyowe nsokubanyi no musiri gwange. So
you do both.
You can do both. Factory egumane tunga majani gayo abokuba speciality tea it requires that you take care of the garden. You are picking strictly 2 leaves and a bud, or even a bud for the specific specialty tea types that are being made. So if you can do that for your garden, then you should be able to give the same quality to the processor so that they can fetch a premium price. Your Excellency, the issue of the Mombasa market, I am very privileged to represent the industry there. There is a lot of transparency, Your Excellency, but there is not enough information that is trickling down to the farmers. Your Excellency, farmers by the factories zabe za CTC nabo kwanka kusanga ngu abamuti bakumanya that they have a right as owners of factories okumanya ekinyakuli mbere bakutunda majani gabo. So these are internal corporate issues that I believe we can support them on. But it's not something that you would have to say completely get rid of, Your Excellency. So I also believe, I'm sorry I'm taking a bit of time. Your Excellency, I also believe that the farmers, the outgrowers, in as much as buying a factory and teito, kwankanu bakiza amajani in the country. So no sangangu itwenka nyo in the private, twine naba plantation, aba Mukwano, Macloyd, Tamteko, Abobona, we have the capacity to produce, but we do not have the capacity in the garden. So we are completely interdependent. That if farmer takoziro mulimugwe, nyote nyine kokundai hasente, aheru kuzimugarura. So no sangangu ebei no gumano jitema, habwembera nkejo. So kintunka Honorable Frank Tumwebaze ekiabalize ekia regulation chijakutiyamba muno. Your Excellency, akatale kamajani tikahoireyo. Mombasa is not the only place. Mombasa is a very transparent place to trade, but there are issues of non-trade barriers that I would like to bring to your attention, Your Excellency, as a leader of the processors, Your Excellency. Twine Ekizibu within Kenya, the host. The problem is not the auction. The problem is the host. How? If Uganda was at the port, I'm sure would also have equal opportunity. ekizibu ekitwine, we do not have abanyakenya bakagenda bataho a transit bond kusanga ngu all the teas that are coming from outside Kenya must be secured by a bond at the warehouse.
A bond is what?
Of 16%, which is their VAT.
Also, they deduct it from your money.
So what happens is 16% yegyo ubo ba warehouse in Bagisa Surai. Konka, they cannot retrieve the money until batungira export documentation kuboleka ngwa majani aganya kuizire in the warehouse tigaizire mu Kenya, but rather it is transit tea heading to the international market, be it Pakistan and all the other places. So recently on first one kuboleka ngwa majani aganya kuizire in the warehouse tigaizire mu Kenya, but rather it is transit tea heading to the international market, be it Pakistan and all the other places. So recently, on 1st July of this year, the finance bill ya Kenya introduced an excise duty on amajani agali foreign, meaning on top of the 16% hati that
15% you pay it because you want to assure them that the tea will go out.
Yes, that is the idea.
And then it is refunded.
It is refunded, but this is the trick. Your Excellency, if you take, because the process of selling tea takes a while, it's an auction. We are sending containers weekly, and there is a system and there's a schedule for every amount of tea that's going to be sold. So the delay, it makes our tea undesirable. Kusanga, they would rather buy gali ya majani agata kutwara bwire wingi.
Which is what?
Aga Kenya. So the problem is not the auction, the problem is the host.
So if we didn't have those obstacles, how much would they are talking of 0.8 or a kilo? How much would
Your
it be?
Excellency, our teas would be more competitive. Your Excellency, and
How
you know
much,
competition is the one that drives. We have hit a $2 mark before.
No. In spite of the quality issues,
Yes, Your Excellency.
you are saying that our tea would be more than the 0.8.
Yes.
If it did not have those obstacles.
Yes, Your Excellency.
Like how much?
This, Your Excellency, depends a lot more on the prices of shipping and the delays in loading the cargo.
If there was no delay, what would be the situation?
If we had no delay, we would become more competitive. Your Excellency, it's not 16% anymore. It is now 41%.
The what?
The bond in force that we are facing at the auction.
Really?
Your Excellency, this doesn't cater for all the issues. This is one of, because the farmers have had an opportunity to speak of the other issues, so there's no need for me to speak about it as well. But as far as international trade is concerned, for those who are processing teas, this is a very big issue that we are currently facing, and we would like your intervention for its removal, Your
I
Excellency.
have never heard of that. That what?
Sorry?
I have never heard of that problem of...
It is a recent problem, Your Excellency. We normally follow the bills before they are passed, but it could have been slipped in, who knows. But for the last week, I was able to write...
So that takes off how much from our kilo?
Your Excellency, that is 41% of the value of our product.
Really?
That is being held. You know, Your Excellency, time value for money.
Is it refunded or what?
It is refunded after a long time when all the other teas have had the opportunity to go through the system.
Bali abantu bagura amajana agataine rwanju.
Agataine rwanju, Your Excellency, ngo bakutwara. Hata agaitu agabanya kutere hobo bukwakulizo.
But then how does Rwanda do it, they're even further than here?
So the blessing ya Rwanda ine, that's why it's called the land of 1,000 hills, Your Excellency. We also have a few regions in the country that mirror the area in which they grow. Kwanka ekibatu kizire kusanga they are more regulated. Ekitutaine.
So it is the quality now.
So the issue, Your Excellency, is quality. If we do not regulate quality yeitu.
Does the volcanic soil improve the quality?
Acidic soils, Your Excellency. Yes.
Acidic.
Yes, acidic. Yes, Your Excellency.
And how are your soils here?
On average, yes, they are, except for those that we require sometimes to add in a bit of sulfur in the fertilizer. in order to give it that boost that it requires.
So the advantage of one is what? Is it soil? Is it regulation? Is it what?
The advantage is, first of all, the area, but most importantly,
What do you mean by
regulation.
area? You mean soil?
Mbere bakukuza amajani gabo gali mu nsozi. So amajani gabo because of bakutamu, but even on
Buhweju is a mountain.
and Buhweju has been performing really well. Kisoro is doing fairly well, Your Excellency.
And so how do they influence tea? You help me to understand clearly.
Your Excellency, Ensozi, Atinkezembeho. Your Excellency, there is a team leader here who would like to assist. Thank you.
Your Excellency, Arthur Babu Muguzi in the Buhweju. The hills help because of acidic soils. Currently, Buhweju is around 6,000 feet. Now, amajani is based on the liquor and the aroma. Kujarangunoba Bagasa, you even pass near the factory and you hear that's what you call a scent or the smell.
Umshonji.
Yes, umshonji kwa majani. And when you even put it in a cup, both of water and nanamate, you can even see it. If it's a tea bag, it immediately turns the cup of tea, and that's what actually fetches the real price. When they do tea testing, so they based on that.
And shows the more acidity,
yes,
than empty.
That's true.
Ningo to gongo to hansi.
Yes, true. And Your Excellency, I stand here to give a testimony. Buhweju, when you gave us a grant, we want to thank you for that. Tuataka chukwebarize, tukombeka factory ya Buhweju. For the whole year, we beat Rwanda. And Your Excellency, I stand here to give a testimony. Buhweju, when you gave us a grant, we want to thank you for that. Tuataka chukwebarize, tukombeka factory ya Buhweju. For the whole year, we beat Rwanda and we beat Kenyan teas with an average price of $3.2.
Okay.
And the trick was, which colleagues should have said, at the auction, we must accept, whereas it is transparent, the brokers and the buyers are all Kenyans. And the Rwanda trick, they have an attaché, a person, and Your Excellency, whoever shared it with you, Arukushitamayo office Mombasa. To the extent sometimes he withdraws the teas. Hatiteza Uganda, whether we are there or not, we must be sold. And once you are a member of EYATA, 80% of your teas is the Kokuzum auction. Your Excellency, talk auction Uganda, nitutkatamburahu.
Auction, so what's the problem?
It's a regulation, and ministers are here. Honorable Magest Katumine, one time I carried direct Tigara, and he knows what it means. Once we have our good teas, for the quality we are talking about, people will come and buy our teas. And Your Excellency, we have been born, raised, school fees bajishashwire, tukujiho majani. Your Excellency, majani are profitable.
Now you was a room majani, kutoa kolewe biona, nyundi ha muntu wanji wa hikibiri.
Your Excellency,
aboko maharanje ya mobilizing chamutetera.
Your Excellency, we shall take all those issues. Konkani tuntwereza echokureberaho tukashomesebwa eka zibiri.
But how much would one get if all things were equal? How much would you get from 1 acre?
Your Excellency, 1 acre no hamu kilo 10.
No, but some said you could go up to 8,000.
Because currently, Your Excellency, our local fertilizers.
Yes. Fertilizers.
No, Your Excellency, with 2 acres, akwichiruncha chamajani, you nukashoroma kurgom kashe kusiasha mukaga. It's not a full day time, and it helps you to do other things, Your Excellency. I would encourage our people with extension services and fertilizer. And
how much would you get from 1 acre if all things were?
We are getting shilingi rukaga na shatu. What Igara was paying, shilingi rukaga na shatu, kilo 10. Your Excellency.
No. But assuming that the production goes to 8,000, the one.
We will be able to get 8,000 times shilingi rukaga, which is 1.8 million? Yes. 2.4 2.8 million, Your Excellency. Per month, per acre. And then you remove the cost, which can count for 1.4, because you have fertilizer, or you have herbicides, or you have nabakozi, you still remain with over 1 million, Your Excellency. It still works, Your Excellency.
1 month times how many months?
12 months.
You will go up to 12 million.
Yes, Your Excellency.
I want that in writing.
Your Excellency, we are going to do it.
Please.
Yeah. Thank you.
Your Excellency.
Just 1 minute. Let me come back. Kangarich.
But before, what were you doing? Yes. Before that, where do you be there?
Your Excellency, I'm Captain Biaruhanga, representing Guest Hire and Chinchisi Development Company. Your Excellency, we want to thank you for the tea you gave us in the Giz region. You really invested a lot. Our major problem and the major problem that has brought the processors here, when we got a crisis, we had several meetings in the Prime Minister's office, and what we was discussed was sent to Cabinet, and we were told they would respond. I think we wanted the 162 billion to save for the two tea factories which are employing a lot of people. To date, we have not got any response. Most processors here are waiting to hear from you. That was in 2023. Your Excellency, the major problem that is affecting farmers, particularly here, and outgrowers, the money that would be going to farmers is spent on power, and fuel. Your Excellency, the power we have, let me take an example of Kanungu. The power most of the time is off, and we are using fuel. And the fuel we are using is pump price fuel. All the money that would be going to the farmers in the form of increase in price sent for industries. I would appeal to you that if that one is put into consideration, consider these the rural industries. Rural industries employ for industries. I would appeal to you that if that one is put into consideration, consider these the rural industries. Rural industries employ a lot of people. You are talking about 4-acre model. Yes, 4-acre model is very good, but most of the people with big chunks of land, once put in tea production, they employ all people, including the landless. They also, most of the landless have paid school fees for their children up to the university, working on land of other people, plucking tea. So I hope Your Excellency, if that one is handled, that one would assist the farmers. Lastly, Your Excellency, sometimes for us tea farmers, the tea industry, we are between Ministry of Agriculture and Ministry of Trade and Industry. So sometimes we don't have where we fall. Whether we don't know where agriculture hands us off to trade, and when trade receives us, and that gap is disturbing the industry very much. So assist us and we finalize that. Your Excellency, lastly, we have talked about it. The Honorable Minister of Agriculture has talked about it. Regulation. Without it, we are not going far with our prices. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Yoni nshaba ngambo mulimo bantu bakurira bingi kandi nori nyankwe. Your Excellency, amajane gakagwe beyi kandi cyagagwisize beyi n'urutaro rwa Russia na Ukraine. Fatarize katembe beyi ahabwo urutaro rwa Russia na Ukraine. Ahabwo kuba high quality tea in East Africa ekeneza Russia neza na Ukraine. Echo ni kimwe. Echa kabiri, fertilizer, high quality fertilizer ekanerwa Ukraine na Russia at about $180 per ton. Hatukabire ho rutaro container kuruga Russia na Ukraine tugura China ninga tugura ahandi konka still ne high expensive. Hate urutaro rwarize kubaho ebeyi yasharuka tutakubasa kutwara Ukraine, tutakubasa kutwara Russia, tuafuna alternative markets. Hauko nyoni ntunda majane 50% of my tea agenda for auction, and we have 7 sites auction sites. We have in Mombasa, which is weekly, Monday and Tuesday. We have Dubai, which is Wednesday and Thursday. We have Sri Lanka, which is 3 days a week. We have Shanghai, which is 2 days a week. We have India in Calcutta, which is 2 days a week. We have Italy, which is 1 day in a week. We have in Spain, Madrid, which is 2 days a week. So all those are alternative markets for tea. Echo necha kavi. Echa kashatu. Kugahereze kugwaha ebeyi kuyahereze kuzahansi. Itwetware farmers ebeyi yazahansi ebeyi tukubahereza tubakubasa kwegurira fertilizer hati. Abo kwa tuine beyi enche yitukuba. Hati amahanga gandi nka Kenya gibagamba ebeyi kuyagwira hansi. Bako bine price nka Kenya are controlled by KTDA. KTDA negura almost 80% of the Kenya tea. You in the minimum price, for example, now their price is 3.15. If the price is below 3.15, they don't sell. Then government comes in and gives money to KTDA. Itwe bari yakuba funde fertilizer ya shaba Kenya bayongera ko rita higuru itokore te yitu ya zahansi akwa farmers bakaba takubasa kugura ki fertilizer amatajana gayongera kuzanka hi ko rita yongera kuzahansi konka kuno nyangoro rutaro rutarabire hatakushaba ngo twereze fertilizer yabo ekintu cyaretsire abantu bine fertilizer abwo kuba tubakubasa kujugura abwe beyi tukubahereza. Now hati amajana yitugaguza kugahereze kwangwaho amajana ntugaguza alternative biggest market hati in China negagura hansi ni Pakistani, ni Egypti, ni EU, ni Saudi Arabia. Hata ga mahanga biraga kontingaho. Gogi in arrangements na mahanga garia. For example, in Pakistan, I was in Karachi 3 weeks ago. Pakistan na Kenya, all imports from Kenya is charging 50% of their tax. Uganda is charging 100%. In other words, Pakistan in arrangement na government ya Kenya on taxes. So this has to do something with the government to negotiate for us. Kugira ngo nitwe tugire same terms nkezo ko exportinga kuri. Now, kokuzari China during the Beijing conference, Your Excellency, Kenya na Rwanda zika negotiating a tax. Taxi itokutukuba nsasura mbwenu, they have a discount of 30%. Tuan nsasura 100%. Kenya na Rwanda nsasura 70% of the value. Hata gama jana gabo chigareterejo 30-40% value nezanka hi neba marked up on their price. That is also an advantage. So when you are buying from Ugandan tea to China, you slash the 30% of the value which you are going to pay in China as tax. Echo nicho nabanyenda nyetegereza abantu aba echa kabiri nature auction. Auction Mombasa tariyo problem ya auction. Abo kuberi optional. Kandi gwe kiyana agamba kugira ngo abo ryo ayata no tuguza 80% of your tea no. Nyowe nyine companies ishatu ni exporting amajani ganje by 50%. I can even export as Hassan Basaja Baraba. I don't have to use global tea which I'm using to export my tea. If I take my customs in customs and I say I'm exporting as a person, nwakunchiriza ku exporting amajani ganje. Nambweni nyo aganja majani ngo samhara wanje izina rye ngo ku exporting ramu ndojingeria the 20%. Tokubasa kuzibura mhara wanje kuguza majani ge nanka China. Tokubasa. So echeche tariyo problemu tine chiriyo kandi necheche sente bambagamba ngu nbatwara sente 41%. 41% kutusema majani mu auction Mombasa nibaga cataloginga on week 6. Nibakwata sente zao for 6 weeks, which is 45 days. Why is a giyo mwe house ukatugatunda? Nibagarura chi sente zao. Echo ni chimu. Echa kabiri teba kutwara sente zitu ngunu bazituyaho nibatwareza is a broker. There are options of brokers. You get a broker and he will sell your tea at agreed price. Omwenyo ni nchira kwanga kuguza majana ganje nari ba price yabandi nari baba kuzigara bajuza 1.1 mangunza kupanka 1.11 or 1.109. I stop myself. So you can still stop your tea from being sold on auction. Akono no ria akombizana no barebo. Aro transparency twakupasa kuguza majani ga utakugira ki utakwenda. Ekindi Your Excellency cyafatariza abashigambira. Nobutwa akora ki nobutwa kugira tuta twaba tafunde fatariza tino kutuza kufutunga a better quality tea to get a better price. Ekindi necha masanyalazi Your Excellency amasanyalazi twaba tafunde fatariza tino kutuza kufutunga a better quality tea to get a better price. Ekindi necha masanyalazi Your Excellency amasanyalazi ahaho mu Uganda ngana chikusoborire gari very expensive because nyonyi ne factory ya size yanje ni Kenya nyiwani sasura dollar almost one factory dore mtwaro mkaga equivalent which is about 200 million in umeme 220 230 250. The same size of the factory here in Kenya someone is paying about $32,000. Anyoni sasura 60. Njimanyisa ngoma sanyalazi gitu agarankai garga higu kan hati amasanyalazi ago Your Excellency kwarjiro umeme amasanyalazi ngabura munonga. For example nyowembe ningura diesel burukwezi mbe nisasura amasanyalazi mbe nisasura shiringi milioni 350 burukwezi z'amasanyalazi. Hati nisasura shiringi 380 amasanyalazi. Konka mazuta ga diesel mbe ningura diesel ya milioni 100 burukwezi hati ningura diesel ya 250 million shillings. So meaning the cost of the production yazankahi yazahi guru Abokuba esente zimbe ninsasura total with diesel 450 million shillings a month. Hati ninsasura almost 600 million shillings per month. So it becomes expensive. So ishana ninkushaba. There are two things. One, a better management of power. That is one. Question nichindura na kurite neza hansi abokwa amajani ganga agenda gatinga agenda amasanyarazi gargaho, you don't get the same quality nkama amasanyarazi gaga gumino throughout. Ejo no problem. Echa kabiri ne diesel. If we can get this VAT removed from the diesel also, that can help us. Abokwa amasanyarazi ngabura munonga ntuhemba generator almost for half at the time. In 24 hours, nimbambembere generator for 10 hours. Since we left, and yet we were at about 70%. 70% was umeme, then 30% was diesel. Echona chaman. So ninkusaba, if we can get a better management of electricity, it can help us. Abokuhata ngabra mnongo. Echindi nanasoborira majana igakuza no alternative market singacha ineketa gura majana gitu konkega guzira abo kujangaria bei hansi. However, Your Excellency, harho another types of tea. Right now for me, when tea got a problem, I have already started another alternative of tea, which is green, which is the orthodox and green tea. If you compare our CTC, amajana gutukora hati, agutukora, ngagura average almost $1. Between 90 cents and $1 now. I'm talking about this week and last week. Now, the orthodox price is $5.5 of $1. The green tea is almost $7.5 of $1. Kandi, the ratio we are using is to kozesa funa. I want funa one kilogram of made tea nergomur 4.25. The same ratio is to orthodox niyot kuyomur CTC. The market. Kandi the market yayo eze na kulistingira za nanka za sites za sites za ezugura majani nkaseruranka. The biggest tea in the auction, it is orthodox. China, the biggest tea on the auction, when the biggest number of tea, it is green tea. Now when Your Excellency, why is that to negotiating government to government? Okatweleza fertilizer. Okanegotiating naga mahanga Tanzania nanka Tanzania, Kenya na Rwanda agizini nanka ni reductions on their taxes when you are entering in. And competing. Then of course, hata hivyo nakuwa kuwa Your Excellency. Alternative tea, if we are facilitated. But however, not all of us can do it at the same time. Sorry? Tunjire chizibu kutwaize kutunga bizibu ebi amajane gaza hansi twatunga bizibu bingi akwaga mazuro bwire bwingi. So ishi twantukusabitwe nka manufacturers, Your Excellency, twantukusaba ngo tereho fund ekubasa kutuyamba tukabasa kora alternative manufacturing of tea. Otherwise, twaguma muri CTC on return alternative. Kandi hatwine capacity abo kwa tugwiri. Twine sente. Noti kwa kutuyamba mzeyi otwereze akasente no twakubana ngo nsakasa sura kataro interest na bafama nabo ubaha akasente uko nabo baryawo bo kutureba twena turyacupa kandi muzeyi ndondo rwawo shire answer.
Sente zingahe?
Esente document yani nza kujikwereza abo kwito manufacturers it comes about 149 billion, then farmers against fertilizer it was about 46 billion. Watwereze echo okatuyamba n'amasanyarazi gakaba stable niza kwa document eji kandi nokutukuza kukozesa itwenza kugenda misho tukori.
Very good. Kale.
Your Excellency.
Then of course lastly, Your Excellency, and policy. Tuyino mwana witu akaparticipating Kenya omukora policy framework ya Kenya regulations na guidelines in managing authority which is managed by KTDA. Sorry. Na nka kwehenogu he can be useful in helping us na ngwatu kumuna nka flag bearer member of parliament witu na basa kutuyamba in guiding the ministry okora document ya twendo authority to regulation to get better quality and better direction. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, nitwebaza Your Excellency kabaje mekira majani kurugo mu region ya Ankole, Kigezi, Rwenzori and Zombo. Kandi ntakayikira no muri bingi kubagamba ngo abakigo kabato majani tukagaza mutwagagemeka konka kwa yeta bakigaba mitoma nahurira nashwara habwa kwabona umuringo munonga ni right honorable speaker kandi kabari hacari yabaringwa nka musasize na baryo munsi nanye ndiyo bitu so nitukusima munonga kureba ngo karete hururu iyo kugira ngo abantu abahasi bagemeka amajani rero factories base kugenda umesho kandi nashemererwa munongo mu ba presenting ibyo no kubigenzere ndebeba obu twatandika obu waterero muranga ngo tuzo mu kugemeka amajani mu 2008 hakabari wo factory mu y'amajani muri Kigezi ahindi kugambere rizoba zibere mushanju abo kugira ngo nitwe twatandikire ntwo busigwa abantu ngo babyare omuri Nkole hakari mu factory ibiri nizo zabire nizimanyora basajo guna bandi bakaba takatandikire ahindi kugambere rizoba twine factory mwenda omuri Nkole so itwabagemeki nitwe twayegwirenda eyazeirwe nitwe bazeire konke cyo kuhemba kikagumana kiteganisa kandi mu myaka nkekume weire twire nitubugana mpora turi kuganira rye bibinte bingi ngira no bimanye tinkuza kubiza mu munonga 2015 ku 11 2015 tukakushanga guru twabiganira ibyo bintu watushemererwa kandi waturaganisa kuni tuje kutunga yo dora shillings billion 220 mu mwaka gwe 2015 16 no gwe 2016 17 umburanga kutwagutwarira abantu abutaka beyirukanga bona bazumu kugemeka amajani menji munonga konka kutwayikiro mu kugasapplyinga government twashanga abatari ready kugakira nko kutwagahingire twashuba twija twabizamu twabugana na NADZI twabugana na Minister of Agriculture nangwa Prime Minister's Office kaba bize na meeting zone zitwagiremo turi kugira ngo tukashashurwa kutwarebire tutinde rugendo rw'amani batinde cyo batusharira twazo mu koti umukuzo mu koti byone bitwagabire turabiremo bashanga abagemiki tutine mushango batuha judgment konka umubuzeire bwawe no mu bijunanizi bwawe watweta utimureke mu ruge bya kote watutere kibanda bazeire wagira ngo batushashure agwa majani gaheza kuba verified kugabere verified twashanga gabire gahingirwa gagabirwa gari kukwata billion ziri kwika 5 batushashuraho billion 3 ezindi bariyoni bazi processing eco nacyo nitukibasimira kandi wayija washanga amenja gagwira nasare beds twayerekire kugabire gariho konka government etabase kugatwara bwo kutetegura twagira tanka economic loss wagira timwe no government etaragatwire nimwe mwagahinjira mukata mwe sente zanyu katwije tubashumbushe 40% yenchi yagoma jana gafire wote nangwa na delay yo kushashurwa babatereho ka 20%. President nitukusima kandi ibyo bintu nitumangu nibwija kwikirizwa so tugumire ku rugo mu 2021 rizoba nitubugana na NADZI na MAIF kureba ngo izo sente zashashurwa konka abantu nyuma bacyashasha nko ku LC1 chairman watwakira hano yagamba hari habari muri beshirika ababire bagira amabanja ga sako na ga banka n'ibindi ahindi kugambire rizoba yitwa babire bagiro mu koti nito twatungire ubusento bwo konka kandi bagira amabanja ga sako na ga banka n'ibindi ahindi kugambire rizoba yitwa babire bagiro mu koti nito twatungire ubusento bwo konka kandi Ankole harimu districts nkeyambarara Bushenyi na Buhwiju
bo bakaguma nibaganira na agriculture ngo ubundi hakagire cyarugayo tibaza mu koti konka neri izoba tibakabona go rucwekire abambarara bakaba verified bashanga kube no busigo miliyoni 198 ababushenyi miliyoni mukaga n'emitwaro nshanju ababuhweju miliyoni 3 na mushanju wazito musente abambarara ni biliyoni 5 ababushenyi ni biliyoni 2 necweka ababuhweju ni biliyoni 15 haza hariyo na Zombo nabo bakaba batandikire kutere ngoma bagemeka nango bo batandikire mu gwenku 2019 gwenku 2022 Ministry of Agriculture ekazayo yaba verifying bakakora petition yazo mu parliament niyo yayoreze yo parliamentarians agriculture kaza yeka verifying abo nabo bino busigo miliyoni 16 bategereza ngo agira kagambo akuba barekerera nabo bakagira ubusinge bushenyi beine amabyani agabye irwe gakaba verified miliyoni 5 n'emitwaro 9 abo nabo ni babanja miliyoni biliyoni 2 n'emitwaro na miliyoni 300 buhweju agabire verified ngo gakabyarwa ni miliyoni 98 abo ni babanja biliyoni 39 Kisoro nabo ni babanja age miliyoni 10 n'emitwaro 9 nizo biliyoni 4 n'emitwaro ya biliyoni 4 n'emitwaro 3 ekipapura nkine hanuya nituza kurara twakikwa kurango details zona za Rugamba
zone zo zingahe
zona wazigeita nizikwata biliyoni wana kuzakwata biliyoni 12 biliyoni 12 zaziriho mazima nitwaka ngono nitugaruke nyime ifokwe nitugire ngo muzeyi yatshumbusha otherwise turi kubi hati twane tukurira ngo abamajyane bariyo ni bashoroma nibaza kukwata kashi basajya barabayije hano yaya baba konka we hakiri hariho kakasha kari kutunga yitwa basako n'ababanka no kuseba twandireho mu bibira ngo tukarya sente zabo twagemeka ati twashashura ngene twane tukushaba your excellence mazima otunagire hakababi aharisho niwo muzire weitu webare munonga
kale
konka shube nsime tumwebaze honorable tumwebaze atukoliro muri mugomane nagumana tukumakuma then the right honorable the right honorable deputy speaker tayebwa ubwo nawe tutura nawe turwo muri tarutaru kureba yaba abantu binyuma kugira ko batunga mwe bari tinka bebwa
Your Excellency, protocols observed. Nyoni banyeta nuwasasira Edna, ndi vice chairperson wa Great Ambara Tinda Celebedo Paletas, kandi nkoku my elder father yayagambire, tukazomuranga go kuraisinga amajana go 2017, 2015, 16, almost up to 25. Turukumanya nguni twenke minyeto, by then I was still a youth, ntubasa kuhamwe sente and we employed many. Tuahaba antemshara, tuatama bakazi no manya, they are the people who do that kind of work. Abakazi bakora, tuabashashura tuabanyaga. And we're very grateful for the government. At least some of the seedlings were taken. Konkeze watara tuire, not the cake manager ne verifying every season, but Thomas Kong to akuja kustwar. Tugarga turevera, tuonjera mwesente, another season passes. Tugarga turevera almost up to four consecutive years. Aho turku yesentom banksi, turku yesentom loanzi, tuagumantuteka mutu inamasko, mpaka higa ahweri almost 2022. Your Excellency, at least farmers and factory owners are complaining a court of seedlings. We've been supplying the best together with NARO, and that's why we've been consulting them to buy at least the reason the task ahead of them is how to maintain it. And some of us we did it as a job and as a professional. Me myself, I'm a forester. I'm an environmentalist. I'm now struggling with the banks here and there. Your Excellency, you should sympathize with us basically because we did it as a profession, we did it as a passion, and we employed many youth who are looking up to us, who are still doing it. Because one Ogamba 4 acre model, but that is 1 acre as well, where you can get a lot of money. Look at each at 600 or 400. Water, you use national water, and most of us who are using rivers. We are doing it in the banks of the river. And Ms. Garia Gavsha, supplying a government, supplying even these other private planters, and we are surviving. Really, we need your parental assistance. We need you to invest and to so that the business can go ahead. We really want to thank you so much. We've been really looking forward for this meeting for a long time. We've wrote letters, Prime Minister's office, Vice President office, or Hangi Kuminitano zone. Tindukumanya wabozira Your Excellency. Can't I can accept you back to the President. Nazo twazo banka twazigaron twastayo. Tina utu arevi.
Banga mbele mbakome nibayabu.
Your Excellency, given a chance in Bakugambira.
Esumi yawo mpesumi omwana mujandiki. Write the phone of write the Barungi.
So we request you, na next our guzira tukaziyo banka twagaruka twayongera yibanje yaberi in existence. Tobarat tuire to what abarzahabra, but you have all the evidence. My members are there. We are around very many households. Nobambia no bujuruzi konka tukakureba gamuntu twakureba. Really help us, and we hopeful for the best. Thank you so much. We appreciate your leadership. We appreciate your teachings. Nanyeni nkurabu over, and I'm really grateful. We are what we are because of you. You've modeled us, you've mentored us, and we look forward to learn a lot from you.
So you are given half a minute to say only what is new.
Mr. Minister, Your Excellency, nyowe amazina ndareba Daneri kandi chairman wa Nasari Bed Operators omurubuweju kandi general secretary which bina chitu cha movement bwenu Dr. Nimi yagamba kubanja government tukasapringa milioni 98 z'amajani beja baga verifying abanadizi auditor general ije ya verifying tubanja bilioni 39 hati abo n'abanyabuhwejo sentezi shemekwaza yashashwirwe omwaka gwe 2023 financial years hamwe ne 2024 so abantu bari kumunonga icyo kubanja tinguza kukigambaho no kugumizamu Mr. President turumunga sako zitwire properties abantu shoyazi hamwe ne 2023 so abantu bari kumunonga icyo kubanja tinguza kukigambaho no kugumizamu Mr. President turukumunonga sako zitwire properties abantu batoroko maka bahunga abantu bari kumunonga abamo bari mu makoti kandi ina evidence ebingi twabihandika nibija kushangoko bwena abantu bagambaha amajani okubendeka amajani yo first activity yakorwa kubi Mr. President ntwatine amajani mu ihanga hazo bukuturebaha ito abantu bingi nbaturebera bundi batwana rukinga konka amajani gutukubendeka agamoto gakoze research twine cronies ezikubasa kurugamo za mukaga 8 ezakare twine cronies ya Mr. President waza ka Kenya bine TRFK bishatu nshaje nemwe stroke ishatu ezo namajani agakubasa kukora orthodox tea twine amajani nka TB1 agent standard abwa CTC namajana masagagire omukatare erigenda agutukubasa kwakira twajya twagabende kitwa bende kibo majani hatwantuhereza abakuza kubyara ukashanga baturetera amajani agagizire ki korona zununje twine amajani agakufermentinga aho naho korona zika UTR
stroke 2 stroke 1-2 waza Kenya agamajani twatu katunje twagabendeka Mr. President twaja ngo twagata factory twagahereza abahinji rather nabaja ngo bagasanza ko tuguza amajani agahigura umunonga so mbwenu ito tukushaba ngo nito abanyabedi mutwateho bantu bagamba kintu cya korte y'amajani hati korte bantu bahinga koroni zimbi iyo jeno bija kusabiya ngo amajani amarungi korte abagamba bona tubagamba kintu cyenguto Mr. President enguteze zo kureba nywara ubunasasuka Frank tumwe bazogo honorable output ye na productivity ye ombyakorwa na reporting emwe ni bya affecting nguto ahubwo kuba amajana akagukorera waza kutunga korte yago megamaresha yisha to mahando be wa government ingero wa gasiri so gangaraganga buhweju omunguto ziri nyo zinkwemanyira emotoka kasibanetera bagisindika aba bana kaba Hassan baza gabona gasa ngije kubashika government ingiro muhanda na korte yafiri so ngabanisha bikintu kimwe rero yo bunarwana kuje mu parliament konkamwe n'ibikande mero kushika Mr. President nyo kanyezere ngo tugire heza bakweta agriculture roads aza tuzete rather T roads hata ngabuweju oshange mujinira location erikora ministry ya agriculture abantaba oshange hati output yo mu franka bonded supported by roads zezo zumuyambe kujya mu korte y'amajani kije yana reportingira hata reporting ibiri mu mugasho kuko amajani gakufa umwe yitwa aba minister of works hati yitwaha oshanga umagurukasha bakujya ngo tukozere bibi konka nyoni nambwe ni kusasubwa twine kintu Mr. President kwa kubaho fund kabe abo revitalization fund revamption fund umwaka gwa rumwe na cyenda nena government kaya kwasara abahinja aba kano cyumanya ngo turi kumunonga mukama witu nyona ni kushaba akwa ndio muhinjo w'amajani ndio mutu wa movement kuba nibeto mbwita kuriya omucyaro hati ite tushasha akwa mbamba kwata government yitu hata abantu bazo kubayeto mbwita baba bari no barango babanyagire baba bari no barango yenguto zufire bana barango be yayanga hati to ba movement twatwa hunka nkekibina so naba ningira ngo Mr. President factories no wakugenoza naga billion kikumi zonka buzumana bakira tugaraka mutindo nakatare kitu nikagaruka rero ibintu nibigera ki nibigendo nisho nabanyeze ngundekera ahantu bajyangwe shazahwa bitu Frank ari nanje ngungumizemu
yes nero operator kandi turanindwanira kugira ngo tugire korte y'amajani ito abana sare operator tukasanga insuga zabezuro bakabajya ngo nimbi twagezeho kurone sugo nungi ensugo nungi ari kukire n'ibisatu ishatu ariho ndizo ense y'imutaka manyire n'ibisatu asatu nemwe so ngiye turiho turwanisa kugira ngo tugire amajani marungi so his excellence nisabe kintu cyumwe ecyo kubanza amajani gone yabagagambira ngende kiragiro twarga kugira kiragiro abasore mu bamajani tuza kugira amajani marungi nibazagarwanira konka banoja hansi tubakunoga amajani marungi kana factories zakira amajani gona go kubagasoromu echa kabiri itobana sare tukakora amajani kugagira siringi 15 agutwabire tiro mbedu gona gakazundramu kuno muri cyamunga na bushenyi gona gafa tini jana muri twaguruze abako amajani gakabaga gizire kigabuzwa katari ekindi kutukusapurayinga amajani no mu government gatwaro bwire kutusasura nkeva gumene bagamba kiretera twaremera ubwo kugira ki okore ndizo mirumo namwe no wiza okagamba cyamajani na radio zikarangirira tindi kumanyito abanasare cura iturarare abo kubantu batubanza mba kumanya ngo watwereze sente zo kusasura sensi ni kushaba omiso gabantu aba ito nutwereza government ibanza tukubaza kuteka penalties zamagoba banka ko kutwereza mabanza eteka penalties etambako batware bintu byitu babiguza tuturije ahansi yigura His Excellency amajani gitu kwenyuma amajani bareka ko babyagi na sente nyingi wayinga amajani garya yiguru yo mutwaro wadinga amajani garya yiguru yo mutwaro taranzo mutwaro nokora sente nyingi kurija amajani gitu kwenyuma amajani bareka ko babyagi na sente nyingi wayinga amajani garya yiguru yo mutwaro wadinga amajani garya yiguru yo mutwaro taranzo yo mutwaro nokora mwe sente nyingi kurijirita karyo kuboyini konka problem zazitwine fatarize kazayi kunko kubabigamba emihanda ni mibi tutwine birogotero tutwine abagurukarica bagomborra tine kibatukorra baguma hagomborra basitami tibina murimo kuba kwasa kukora so nanishaba abagurukarica bwadira amagomborra basume batweje so kwinga majani basume batweje so kwinga mogo nebindi abo kuba bamemba ba parliament barya muzombira kiro byanyu kumunasanga makira cyo nchikwata amajani muhereza abagurukarica bamagomborra bugabe basume batweje samajani gito kuseme kubantu gakora arabata kumanya amajani agareke tuleto mutar kumanya amajani. His Excellency ito tuinebuzu byinyi nkito banasero operator ansa yigura tubaze kusasura bamwe basasura orabanu kutuba basasura abamwe bakibamazo mwagurukarica ngunadize kargaho okiza kampara bana okizo mwagurukarica tukumanya offices zayiziri so mutuyame ko kumukwiza kwakira amajani nko kumwayire kiragiro cyo mwana mukakitaho mubanu ko mwateka kiragiro cy'amajani omusoro mabwe na yara atamburre dano mutara asobyo majani abwe ne kiragiro cya mukwata
Kare.
The United Arab Emirates, and they were taken around the country and they promised to put up factories. So the three categories are asking government to give a feedback. Number two, about the Burundian who is establishing a fertilizer factory. They also wanted a feedback about the progress of that.
Do you have the information? I don't.
Your Excellency, maybe the PS or the minister.
The issue, Your Excellency.
Do you have the information? I don't.
Your Excellency, maybe the PS or the minister.
The issue, Your Excellency, of the Arab factories, an investment decision. That's one. The Burundian factory, Ministry of Finance was proposing to provide money in the budget to cater for the proposed subsidy of fertilizer. We will pursue it with the Ministry of Finance, and if money avails, we will be able to intervene. But also, we could discuss this further in Cabinet with your guidance. I thank you.
Okay. Well, I am very glad for this meeting because I have learned a lot. First of all, I want you to not now, but to go back and write to me as advisors on the issue of whether tea is a high value crop under intensive agriculture or we should continue with the extensive agriculture. Because some people said you can earn net 2.4 million, it's 1.4 million per month. If you can do that, that would be good. So I want this one in writing. I don't know who can help us do that. Orukuja kuchukua owana kigamba no hogo owa bweju nuya na kigamba ho.
Mr. President, I can coordinate it.
You can coordinate it.
That's right.
Coordinate them. Let's get an advice. Let me get an advice so that I can confidently transfer tea from an extensive type of agriculture crop to intensive one. Because you remember, somebody was saying that the Mtoro Gara was saying you get 1,000 kilos from 1 acre. But people like Mguruska Wejere were saying if all things are done, you can get 8,000. So which is which now? Professor Kamuntu will coordinate that so that we get a document so that we know how to guide our people. But now I've got a lot of information. Number one, fertilizers. We need to get you a fund for fertilizers because, and we shall get it. I'll go back to the cabinet and make sure that we get this fund. You are talking of, I think a figure that was talked here was about 200 billion, 46 billion for the tea growers, and 152 billion for the factories. Is that correct? Is that correct? That was Vaseja Baraba. About 200 billion. About 200 billion. Then the Rulimi Group, 112 billion for the tea growers who still have debts. And I don't know whether that would cover, it would cover all of them because they were talking about the same thing. So 200 billion plus 112 billion, that's about 300 something billion. We shall raise it because I cannot say kurebe kiri kuzara kikafa turya. It's not possible because this is not a road that you are putting money there and it wouldn't take. This is production where you put money and you get more money. So there's really no reason why we can fail to solve this problem. I guarantee you this will be done. I will now then the issue of electricity and I'm going to also follow up this one of electricity, but in the meantime we can calculate and give you tax-free diesel for some time, a certain quantity, so that because we are feeding people who will produce more money. This is really not bad. It's not bad economics at all. Now, the 152 billion is to help the factories. The 46 billion is to help the growers. Where does subsidy come in now? With the 152 billion, you can, the subsidy for fertilizers,
Your Excellency, we are referred the subsidy for fertilizer for a period of about 2 years. It is about 46 billion.
Yes, that's the one.
Yes, that one will cater for the subsidy of the fertilizer. We had computed based on 50%, and we could also pay 50%.
Okay.
Then for the factories, it would help us also to improve.
So the 312 billion will be enough to cover the sector.
Please, yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Then now that one is very well understood. The minister, I'm sure you have understood it, that we need to regulate, make sure people who grow tea grow it properly, and the ones who buy tea buy good tea. This one will be done because you remember we had the same problem with the milk. The milk sector had a lot of problems. There was a group of abajemuzi, the ones who were kujemura, the ones who were selling milk on bicycle, on tuk-tuks and so on. They didn't want regulation. But we put our foot down and we said nobody should sell milk in Ebidomara. You remember there was that big battle there. I think that one was solved. Even this one will be solved. So maybe you can you tell the minister in detail how you are going to do it?
Your Excellency, we have already started on a draft defining how tea should be handled. Even the issue of genetics they are talking about, because we have a whole institute on tea from Naro, Webtaba. We must also control the genetics.
Webtaba?
Yes.
Webtaba, Etabe.
Nanengambori Nyankoro, Your Excellency. So
that's different.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So we are bringing the regulations to cabinet. We are now concluding with the Attorney General, and we shall give that power to the extension workers. You see, originally, Your Excellency, the issue of agencies had spoiled the thinking. Every crop was thinking of having an authority. So we will give the power to the district production department, and the Ministry of Trade will help us with regulating factories, because that's secondary production. So we will bring the regulations, Your Excellency, maybe in about, before even the year ends. Thank you.
And now I'm going to take it up with the governments of China. So who are the big buyers of tea now?
Mzee, can I talk about Kenya, if you allow me, sir?
Yeah, let Basajabara answer first.
At the moment, after the collapse of the now we are getting volumes are going to China in terms of volumes, but in terms of money, it is Egypt and Pakistan as of now.
They do what?
I mean, they take high quality. They can take one container which is equivalent to 2 containers of which goes to China.
Which high quality? One of these specialities?
Yes. For example, you have PD and BP1. Those ones are the high quality in teas. Those ones are going to Pakistan and Egypt. Then the volumes are going to China. The lowest quality, the lower quality.
And Europe?
In Europe, it is of course Germany and Italy.
They buy which one?
They buy high quality also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Japan, Egypt, and Pakistan, we can talk with them, and China. Those ones are very good.
And immediately they reduce the price, we shall add it on to the farmers.
Very good.
If when they reduce the import tax on the other side, automatically we add this.
But China provided for tax-free access to their market. I will discuss with them. I will write to the president.
Okay.
Okay, I think now we are on your side. The date remaining on your side is you to assure me of how we categorize tea. Is it a high-value crop or a low-value crop? I will wait for a document through Professor Kamuntu. On my side, the ministers will deal with the regulation. I need to get the 312 billion for the growers, for the processors, and for the seed multipliers. Then on the research side, I think that one we are doing well. We are doing that. And on the issue of the roads, I'm glad you have raised the issue of the roads. The local governments, like Bushenyi, and any local government who are here, LC5, who are the LC5s who are here? Esentezengu tono mustahi. The 1.3 billion, abujengu tono zeta kasta kozurweje.
Mnonga, Your Excellency, amazina ganjini manyeta, basajja wala wajafai.
Bole chile kama zemba shoboro, sit down first. Bole chile kashi. Recently, I was in the district of Kabarore near Bunyangabo. I was in Bunyangabo, and I found some confusion there. The confusion was the 1.3 billion shillings we sent them, they were trying to make bridges across swamps. So I said, no, this money is not for making bridges or making new roads, because that requires a lot of money. This 1.3 billion to the local government is to maintain the existing roads by opening the drainage, maraming and compacting so the road is maram but smooth. So if you add in Oktembura and Gutensia, that's not the work of this. That one we shall use separate money. So if you focus this money, 1.3 billion, to just maintain the roads which are there, what is the problem? Why should they not be done? Now, I know there are central government roads which are maram, and some which are tarmac, which have got a problem because of partly under budgeting which was done, but also some issues which we are still studying, some maybe inflating costs or something. But we are going to handle that of the local government, but of the central government. But the local government ones, what is the issue? Why would 1.3 billion not keep the roads good, the old roads? Pasaja Barab.
Awe mnonga, Your Excellency, okubanza nyenda kusima abokutongera 1 billion eyokore enguudo abokwatulifuna as a road fund ziri nke munonga at the top of 300 konka tugezeho twakoraje kandi enguudo hata at least nizigenda kurungi ntukora sport maraminga ezintu zimaraminga konka issue eyiba raisinga yeri yo kugira ngu obuzubu buri mu areas ezokusanga nibahinga amajani nibahinga n'omwani nicyo kurebera ngu bantu requesting a special fund okugira ngo ebyeke ebyo bibe motorebo bivune maramu first class
kora kunyo kutembura engutensia
ayike tukutembura tukora nko kuwagamba Your Excellency kandi lastly
kashinka bwejuza yo engutensitura yo why should there be a problem
Your Excellency issue ate itwine ni issue ya okuchenjinga yunura kutwaro mu Minister of Works nkoro gudo kuruganya kabirizi twenda kusima abo kutongoza kugira ngo biza kubatama, but as of now orugudo
orunuro aseto government beza kurukora
konka batwireho
beza kurukora
kandi amajani yo Minister of Works nkoro gudo kuruganya kabirizi twenda kusima abo kutongoza kugira ngo biza kubatama, but as of now
orunuro aseto government beza kurukora
konka batwireho.
So that's the one they are talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't see man.
But 1.3 billion is enough. Zingai, so that we plan.
It can't kuza kwa billion even skana maramu torga kakule bendu urhanu ya wagar kanoga
2 billion.
2 billion.
Okay.
Your Excellency Nabanyetade wa Twire, Chairman wa Bweju, kandi itwene twinga majani munonga ago kuba affected engute zubamba gamba. Your Excellency, ntwenda kusima abo kutereza 1 billion.
1 billion tiorgo torwa jakashaka or torwa central government.
1 billion is ezokora engute zite za district na part of community access roads. Konka tukageraho problem emwe. Your Excellency no manya orikuza kutereza 1 billion rehabilitation fund. Tukaba tutunge sente zikurgo mu yunura ezitwabentu koresa eza Uganda road fund. Kandi wagarika watugeroti on top of that money tuija kubantu konjera 1 billion. Kurugobwe, I can give an example. Buwezu district ogomwako ogutendire etunjere million makumyabiri out of 680 million. So that means ngu entire na ne sente za ezeza
tubakuzirete sente.
Tubakuzirete.
Why?
Turyoku turyon tusiana batuharagata, Nabatujarango Piantus of Hando Muziria, Konka, I can testify here. If you know people are here, you know a agenda, but if anybody from Ministry of Works, road fund.
UNRWA was giving you 300 million.
600 million.
600.
Yes.
Now,
Your Excellency, what here only 20 million.
Oh, so
that means now the 1 billion which you promised us. Turion to the Junisa, Okukora Hamerumeria, Yabene Korwe Center Ziria. So now what Your Excellency, you come in Teka. Local governments in your service delivery center.
We shall target 2 billion per district.
Yes.
Manyaba ichikubaita nukta manyakta ukuteka teka.
Yes.
Avoka 200 billion, 2 billion, districts of Uganda 150. That's 300 billion.
Where were you experiencing? What are 2 billion?
If the Maram roads are well maintained, 300 billion will be worth it.
Your Excellency, you are Anyata Kasiaba Steveni, the chairman LC5 Rwanda district. The Chokuanza Your Excellency and Kusime, where the Kweto Orukiiko Rabona Munonga, Kongani and Kusime, the State Zora Teresa, Ezenkuto, Konka Narakushaba, Aba Ministry of Finance, Ninga Waxi, Ebiome Wat Eire, Ebira Kolen Kuto Namunumuni Tobaroga Munshozi, Muliki Gets Sub-Region. Webare watonjera kasete za babilioni 2 konkana arakushabangu nebyo mebe watwere bikakura ngweno gambira ba finance baturondere byo mebinde bisasa tujwangira nitukole kuto abantu bagende kandi Your Excellency abante nyima barakusimira kimwe no burubu cyaliyo 13
kale. So these are the main points. I think we have had a very good meeting. Now I want to my granddaughter, the one from Barara, akashakar kutukura, akaramnonga. What happened was, what happened was that NADS was, you remember the big battle we have been having has been your people, the ones who stayed outside the money economy. From 96, we have been creating funds to help them. We started with the Ntandukwa, which we put at the sub-county, and it died there. It never moved. Then we brought NADS. But when I checked 2013, the people in the money economy were only 32% of the homesteads. 68% were still outside the money economy. Okorenda yonka, working only for the stomach. You remember that's when I brought in soldiers. So you don't know what this NADS was working, but it was not reaching all these people. That was the problem. So that's when I brought in Sare with the soldiers. Operation Wealth Creation. And they started well. They gave coffee, gave those, even those tea seedlings they were giving you, were they not? Yeah. And it moved a bit. It moved from the people outside the money economy dropped from 68% to 39%. So when I checked 2019, that's what I found. And then a problem had come. There was the people in the population were saying, "Bega bera boka, bega bera boka." That those soldiers were only giving their relatives. That's when I said, no, you people, anything that wants to destroy a dog kills its smelling sense. I'm smelling a problem. Operation Wealth Creation started well, but it seems there is some problem. Let's now change and go to PDM. Abanyacyaro mbahe sente zabo bekoreho. Kikozere kita kutwagizire icyo kikozere kita. Nimucyurira muta.
Your Excellency na ninkusaba na neche cyo kureba umwani na hatendure itu na ya majane ni nadzi ensigo yeziyatwiri utakajizanda utakaji ya una ninkusaba nobo echendere konkensigo zitargaho nadzi yone yasa kurgaho konkensigo zitu Your Excellency nobuzga kuba majane nobugwa kuba
amanyeze ezembe zo kugamba niyo problem mbona reba nkikizubu cya Uganda hagira abantu abashomereho babaje batunga ibintu bahinga umwana bahinga ibi ko hatsigara bariya 68% abuko nadizo buyaberoho abantu amakankaga na munana gakaga ya heri ya nadizo ya money economy.
Your Excellency
hati aba bantu PDM ebayambireta.
Your Excellency nyotingwe na comparing PDM na nensugo byombe nibikora to regulating ekyakye kirimwe kizibu nacho terezemu
inja kuchika wecyo katwanze abukatu inkari yena ngutushya umuntu wahansi.
Of course wahansa benefit nyuro PDM na namajani nagona benefiting,
but which has penetrated more?
Insugo is penetrating more than PDM.
Your Excellency.
Your Excellency.
Your Excellency. Ogaruka ekibuzo kyawe ngoku wagamba mu mwaka gw'2013 abantu abali mu subsistence bakaba baje bicweka 68 haligana. Ati 2019 baba bicweka 39 haligana. Hati kutwatandikire PDM twashanga emyaka 2 yo kubanza ya PDM echendize abantu abarakolera okurya konka okuruga bicweka 39 okuyika bicweka 33. Hata aho niho turi ngeno nabwe cyo sebo Your Excellency PDM eriyera hindura abantu munonga habwo kube sente ziraza enyuma ha muntu abase kugura embibo nunji eyaletaga
okwekoraho umwanya gwo kuhebwa abandi. So onogamba kiwe ulio
Chikanshema Zabroni RDC Rukongere wabuze kibuzo PDM cyinene yokora aha ground. Your Excellency PDM esente z'abantu batungire nibwe namara wike mwe Rukongere mbira RDC wa Rubirizi mbwe n'abantu abakwenda kwetegereza ngo PDM ino mugasho kandi gasira abantu baburi kiro kandi hino kwehinduire mbera zabo bazo mu Rubirizi district. PDM abantu bitu baburi kiro abatungire sente enambe mpango einene zikoze saji kandi hati binentasya na wazo mushaho zabo no ushanga makasente.
Aro mushwanje wa Rubirizi bamunyore dezegaro Rubirizi bamunyore cha askurina nkamushanga ino mweto tumsime. Show me that girl, the one of Rubirizi. Atmanyoni nkwata film ngomu rumugwanje. Do you have those? Do you have those?
amazina mbanyita Tumsime Bezerata omutuze wa Rubirizi district ate yimirira ndi omuseri ya Kizurugo nisima president wa Uganda ayatwire PDM nyo kurangine myaka nkaga nina nkatene chinda tongera haka bakatwe sente za PDM milioni na yayi mtwari binasiga account yanje na rete mitwaro 98 kuna yicheraha na kwata mtwari 15 na gura makoko na yombeke bizui ati na gura mwagazi gwempunu guringaniri emitwaro 30 nagaraka na gura bwana buringanire buti bubiri emitwaro 22 ati kuna maze kubuteko mkizu na kwata na gura ekitiho na kaleka emitwaro 2 gumwe zabe emitwaro 2 na gura no butundu bale mbubo bubiri na buteka na sigaza emitwaro 9 emitwaro 9 na gura mu bwachachu bwempunu kulya natandikiraho ati kuna bena aliza nkazitunga ebiri 10 kwa 5 1023 kuna bena isha okwi10 omwagazi gwempunu go gwaringanira gwanda kuzampaya ebyo kulya bya sanke byankwata byamburamu buno buna guzira bunu bubiro butobu nagira ntikambu guzende berwe eje yagirenda nabuguze mitwaro ngarangutukuza kuga Mukuru kwa buri mpaine chikachewe nabuguze mitwaro 45 mbuguzire 40 na kwata mitwaro 30 nagura jempuno inenda ebyo kulya chachu ati 15 za sigire na kwata mitwaro 10 na sasuro webati ebebe mpulebebe ate mitwaro 5 na zereza ya nyombe chire ati natanga kurebere jempunu yekabwire bokuzara yazare byana 9 na kwata byana bina na bigabire bizwebi emukurebebe na sigaze byana 5 ebyana 5 na biguze mitwaro 50 na kwata mitwaro 30 na gule mbuzi 2 emwezera abana 2 endizo nje inenda emitwaro 20 za sigire na kwata nasoma na gure ebyo kulya byo kurebereze zina sigazezi ati nagitampa y'omurundu gwa kabiri yagaraka zare byana 9 na kwate cyana kimwe na cherezo wenumi na sigaze byana 8
now you can hear this is why I want you all people to really harmonize our thinking. There you see that lady Tumsime, she told you that she was 64 years old, but she has never owned anything in her life. She told you, Nkanta katunga kintu omkayanji. Now, if you have got 68% of your people like that, even if you give seedlings to the 32%, which is what has been happening, that country will never come up. It will never come up. So that's why I had to find a way of reaching the lowest first. Because even when we grow tea and like milk, the consumption, like for instance, I am a milk producer. Uganda is now producing 5.3 billion liters of milk. We are now saying that there's too much milk in Uganda. That's why we are looking for markets abroad. But actually this is artificial. There is too much milk because people are not drinking the milk the way they should drink it. According to WHO, somebody needs to drink 210 liters of milk per year to be able to support your body, give calcium to your bones, and have your teeth in your mouth Like me, I have my teeth, all my teeth at 8, and all my teeth are there. No teeth has come out because I drank a lot of milk. Now, if each Ugandan was drinking 210 liters of milk per day, per year, that would mean, and the population is 46 million, it would mean we'd be talking of about 10 billion liters. So the milk we are producing now would not be enough. Now we say the milk is too much because people are not drinking. So even tea and sugar, if people don't have income, how would they buy the tea and buy the sugar and buy the milk? So that's why uplifting everybody is very crucial, so that they all become part of the money market. And that's why we had to go for this PDM, after trying this one, trying that one. Now, we shall resume. When we had a meeting with the members of parliament, we agreed that we should have a separate system. PDM should continue, but we should have a separate system of giving seedlings to people. And we are doing it. For instance, in the Jen Bariche there, we have a program in Kisozi where we generate coffee seedling and we give them out. And even Tumwevaze was talking about using the zonal farms, the zonal centers to distribute, so we can continue doing the distribution of seedlings for coffee, for cocoa, for tea, now that we are sure about the economics of the tea, but without abandoning PDM, because PDM, the Cambodian Chenang, Omwano or Nyamirama, the boy in Kanungu, the Kanungu boy. You can imagine Tumsima was 64 years. She had never owned anything in her life. Even her husband had gone to Kampala, was staying there, but now he has come back.
Amazina ni banyita ayesigwa Kenesi njo muri seru ya Kazindiro Eastern Ward Nyamerama Kanungu district. Bwero kuna benja aho mucunguzi with president yatamu yatsinja ngo parish model tubachi tweje saba district twachi kwata kubatu lyaho iyo twatagama unenye twaza kuchitunga kwa yenyima itwenka abantu benyima twatatungezo set akaija nadi zitazitunga hija zatazitunga konka parish model kija kutuchungura watu ya turavocha amasemu gitu twirukira kimwe esente nzikwata bampa million konka kandi positingereho emitwale 2 aha account yanjye then kuna za kuzeyo bampa million yone nisha ninyuruka na ikaha na atebekanisa de bweno hati yeze sete naza gukora ki obumbe natancha ka hotel leka nkore hotel nunji aha kuba ebimbe ni nkora abantu bene batina mweno ganze junise inze umunjwe nunji mpanyise nunjwe nunji then ngumize muri gukora okuja kuchimpa businji naguza mporana naje gukora nateka konka abwa amashemerwa minji munonga najatinga president okumpa million nandajine nkakora ki nateka kando ndizina eriri kumanyonka eriri hihi nesete ziba tuhiri najeta parish model restaurant abantu harebeka je abantu bija nkabani ngo bashirinje kashanju omutwaro natandika kugoba emitwaro eshatu netweka nko kwa hoteli teka nanka ina kutizikashona emitwaro eshatu netweka emitwaro ena 5 so nakora nashemererwa nareba ibyantu byatanga kutambura abantu bana batanga kuja bakasoba bakaye so kunkozire naganti bweshatiya niza koma hoteli kusha kandi undarunda magobaga namakunda runda magobaga nago gankorere ekindi kanaza nkandonde empuna zakuba hoteli yanje ejo kujya kubirukushagaho mbitanka mbweno kango ntungeho empunu ebirashagaho ebirarimwe eby'abantu basiga amasowani mbihereze empuneza
hati mwamureba nanko umwana akaba ataine akanatunda ka hoteli bakanyigisa n'ururimi rusuri nabenta kumanya nguna makoko amakoko imwe mugamanya ngiyo ngata kajururaga ngo akaba natundura makoko tamakoko neki nguna nemitegero yemiti nogire bibaho nk'ibintu ngwago ng'amakoko shana mwabe natundira ibyo kurya kuba mwahuru cyaba nagamba zanadi zikaba zije twatasitunga hurura mbwene kuba letiregi abo kuba twajya parish abantu bono murika mwena muzomu omukibira cyo kubika no kweguza mass involvement as opposed to elite involvement, elite participation. Ibizu bya Uganda nebya abake kuba no babake era rimwe tane Rwanda abengi bona bagegahare. This is the whole struggle. So when I take so Oriomushi essential stable tukazihara nades twasahara PDM tucyaretsere cy'icyo ogamba ngo tukabatsiga umuhanda, but really that was the issue. We had to shift to support these people, but now that they have moved, we shall have to come back and see also to support the elite group seedlings in abo bagumizemu konko gwa hansi agumizemu tugume nshenshera okusha okikari yabo batumusime bogo mwana ugu nujo kureba kashikanje karangoko. Put my rango guard there.
Aburi wana ti nama alingiri sel ti Banya ward ti my town council ti Lira district.
Her name is Apiofiki, a resident of Alingiri Cell, Banya ward, Amach Town Council in Lira district.
Agamu tiene me PDM.
She got the money for PDM in 2023. 970,000 and then 30,000 remained in the bank.
So the story of all these young people, you can see these are all young, like those are young mothers. She may be in her 40s, but she already has grown-up children, because they have children when they are young. And she had been married for 20 years, but she had never got 1 million shillings in her life. This is the testimony of all of them. Now, when she got that, she didn't have land. She went and hired land where she grew maize, harvested the maize, sold it, then bought those sheep which you saw there. So this is the whole thing. I totally agree that an additional effort should continue giving seedlings to the ones who are able, but very sorry we had to divert this money to go into the PDM with the 1 trillion per year, which we put in the PDM. Now we've got something like 3 trillion there, and we are continuing each year 1 trillion. It has affected other programs, even the roads you are talking about. But we think it is worth it to have the base come up. It's not wise to just go on with the 32% and you forget the 68%. So I thank you. I have learned a lot. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you.
Can we raise Honorable Minister of Agriculture some remarks before we raise?
Ugandan truck carrying tea. So you directed us, the ministers of trade, agriculture, to continue the discussion. So as I talk now, Honorable Mwebesa is in Mbale meeting his Kenyan counterpart. They will report to your Excellency and you inform your counterpart. So there is that tariff which is against the customs common market protocol.
Anthemus